Oh, something's
Nothing
happening.
if not a showman, and he's waiting for the song to get to the right spot. He's waiting
Oh my God, he's waiting for the song to
for
get
the
to
transition, and he is going to make a grand entrance.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. You don't want him to just like walk down and talk to the people in the cold, whatever. You got to have a nice like Hitlerian, you know, make everybody stand there, you know. What do you think? Another 3,000 crowd? That's my guess. I mean, this is all boiled down to nothing but, hold on, let me slide this down. Let's see. This is all just shrunk down to, like Q crowds right now. There we go. All right, it's happening. All right, hold on one second. I'm going to relieve myself, and then I will be right back. So talk amongst yourselves. I turned off the mic, don't worry. Couple more minutes. I just, as long, no, I don't worry, babe. I turned the mic off. They don't know what's. I'm fine. It's okay. I'm just. I'm all right. Welcome back. Sorry. Hi. We will be joining in this nonsense in just a moment. Let's see if I can scoop down here to the. There we go, the display thing. Scoot this up so you can see it. So it's fitting in the thing. All right, good. Now we're ready to go. I'm standing. I'm still standing, doing my show this way. And it feels better. I do feel, I have to say, I felt a lot healthier over the last month or so since I got my stand-up desk and I've been standing for the show rather than sitting. I mean, sometimes it means standing for quite some time, but I gotta say, like, it just feels a lot better. It's just a good thing. I'm just, for the record. And here, I'm gonna pop this in, and I'm gonna shrink it. Do I wash your hands? Of course I did. Hold on one second. Let me make sure that put this in here, and then go to here. There you go. So we'll see it in the background, see if he comes out of that stupid thing, and then we'll know to start. He's doing one last bump for Junior. He's just crushing some Adderall right now. Stuff's not working like it used to. I'm just, I like when you sing 80s hair band meets Godsmack. It's the best. Oh, well, thanks. Care not for the man who wonders. Straw that broke your back, you're under. Now you know that none are blind. Right. Just thanks for resubbing. It's like Redneck Grateful Dead. It totally is. They're just trying to frame in on him. Here he comes, I'm so excited. He's gonna get to the song, and then he's gonna come out, and then oh yeah, no, he walks down like yeah, that was Lane Staley. Yeah, rest in peace, Lane. That's fucking, Reason number 10,742 why I do not do drugs, nor shall I. At fucking all. Will Trump see his own shadow? Yes. He's going to come out and it'll be 6 more weeks of winter. Make me want to cry, you don't know? Oh. does RSBN stand for? Right. It's Right Side Republican Sports Broadcasting Network. No, it's Right Side Broadcasting Network. They're on the right side of history. It's an ironic title. How many sentences before he mentioned witch hunt? He'll probably go into, he does this, it's so good to be back before the great America first, loving in the great state of Ohio. Yeah. Oh, thanks so much. I'm glad you're enjoying the Nerd Halen stuff, Emperor of Uranus. If I do say so myself. You're missing out. Life's too short not to do drugs. How would you know? You've done them. You have no idea what it's like to be me. If you've done drugs, you have no idea what I feel like, what I go through, how I emotionally respond to things, and you won't. How do you like that? How do you like them apples? Huh? So, yeah. Teleprompter rally. Oh, yeah. There's going to be some wind. He'll probably bitch about it. You ever portray a drug user as an actor? Of course. I mean, I faked, like, Michael smoked pot on, on Queer as Folk. I did something. I did an episode of a show. Fuck, it's been so long ago. I can't even remember. Like in the 90s, where I did we had to do. We had to do like snort cocaine essentially for it, and so they give you this little like tube, and they put a little like film on the end of it, and it's. I forget what the stuff they use. It's just dextrose or something like that. So it looks like it. You can do it pretty convincingly, and you can do like half a row. They do if you'll notice, people do it and then they cut to the row of coke being sniffed up about, they go to a close up. The reason is because using that tube, you can only do like half of the line of it, and then it fills up and you can't use it anymore. So you do like half the line, then they cut into it, and then the edit makes it look like you did the whole rail, right? That's how it's done. Did you play a cokehead for Sexy Liberty? That was Pepsi, I'll have you know. And I've never snorted anything more, the only thing I've ever really snorted is I got a big whiff of Ale 8 once when I was drinking it, and it was a lot. I'm still recovering. Anybody know what Ale 8 is? Who likes Ale 8? Thanks, Sherry. I appreciate that. Yes, Rip Prince, yeah. I get high on ginger ale, that's right. It's extra spicy ginger ale, though. It's not just the regular stuff. I made a joke at one point where my friend in high school, this is the closest thing to like drunk I ever think I experienced. I had a friend in high school who, for his birthday party, had like candy apples, chocolate covered candy apples, like a really expensive kind. And I loved them. I had like 2 at the party. I'd rather have that than cake. I love a good candy apple. It's a good time. Bit like nuts all around them, and some of them were like striped with chocolate. They were fantastic. Anyways, they were like, Hal, you love these. Here, take a whole tray of them. So there were like 30 of these fucking things. And I took it home, and I put it in the refrigerator, and I ate it. And here he comes. After about the 3rd day, I was like, I think these are starting to like ferment with the sugar. Because I was like, I had 2 of them, and I wouldn't call it drunk, but I was like, I feel like a little lightheaded or something. I'm more worried that this is going to make me sick. But that was the closest thing to like fermented fruit was the closest thing I've ever had to like alcohol. And I have no interest. None. I don't I've never seen anybody who's ever like, I'm a pothead, it's a major reason I always vote blue. I would never touch pot, and it's a major reason why I vote blue, I suppose. I don't know. Fall. No, we don't want him to fall down. You ever get a contact high? I was concerned I would get one at a Pink Floyd concert. I went with my friend Mark Bannis. We went and saw Pink Floyd, and I was like, God damn, this whole place. And but it ultimately didn't happen. I mean, I'm weird. I'm so weird in general, the thoughts that occur to me, that I would never be able to tell if I got a contact high. Fentanyl apples. That's what I was afraid of. Potheads who think everybody should smoke weed are annoying as fuck. That's Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan is that dude. It's why he's never had me back on his show. Because I was like, don't need to do it, not interested. Oh, here he comes. And I'm proud to do Giggy Floogie Flu. Is he already playing the song or are they waiting? Yep. Yeah. Gave his life for me and I'd proudly stand up and pretend to have bone spurs till today. And then I'll leave the place and go back to making money at my dad's firm. Or whatever. This is like, is he no hat today? So apparently he's not expecting the wind to be bad. The flags are solid. He's landing at Trump Force One and it's this big thing or whatever. Please fucking announce that you're running in fucking podunk fucking Ohio. I don't have to go to Ohio, to Iowa or New Hampshire. Tonight, I am launching my presidency, whatever. Like, no, look, save America. Text Trump to 80222. It's not happening. Unless that banner on the fucking podium changes right there, he's violating election law. He's doing the hand jerk off to Lee Greenwood. Oh, there you are. Hi. Oh, like that. Oh, God. It's just terrible. He's my favorite president in the whole world. I think he's fantastic. Y'all don't know what you're missing. All right, I gotta wait till this stupid song is over. Settle in, kids. I think this is gonna be a fucking, honestly, like a drag. It's gonna be a fucking drag. But we got everything we need. We got bullshit
detected. Take precautions.
right. We got that. We've got multiple. Oh, the deer. That's rough. Me. Hey.
This is a big crowd. This is a beautiful big crowd. Hello, Ohio. Hello, hello, hello. Amazing.
Yeah, I mean, he's, smaller than the Obama-Biden one, clearly. That's not a good sign.
I do wish the fake news would show this crowd. This is massive.
The fake news is showing this. It's
Incredible. I'm thrilled to be back in this wonderful state with the thousands of proud, hardworking American patriots who built this country. Thank you very much. Tomorrow, the great people of Ohio are going to send J.D. Vance to the United States Senate.
No.
And you're going to re-elect Mike DeWine as your state's governor and John Husted as lieutenant governor. You're going to vote for an incredible slate of true American first Republicans.
America first, not American first, but whatever. Also, they pay him to come to this event. And part of the contract is tell everybody to vote and list the people at the beginning. They've learned the lesson.
Up and down the ballot. And we are going to end crazy Nancy Pelosi's political career once and for all.
Yes, you've stopped her when she's in her 80s.
Right? That's right. Hello. Under Biden, Pelosi, Schumer, and the radical Democrat Congress, the great state of Ohio is under siege. You know that better than anyone.
Yes, people in Ohio know that they're under siege better than people who are not in Ohio, who don't think Ohio's under siege. And when they call Ohio, the people in Ohio go, we're not under siege. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Biden and the far-left lunatics are waging war
It means me.
on Ohio energy workers Just yesterday, Biden bragged that on his watch there is, quote, no more drilling. You know, that's not what he said. JD, that's not what he said. He said it yesterday, didn't quite know what he was saying. Then they tried to correct it today. They said, you didn't understand the meaning of what he said. Oh, no, he said no more drilling, right?
I think he was talking about coal.
But the energy costs in this country are skyrocketing like nobody's ever seen before.
Actually, they have. We've seen it before a couple of times. Matter of fact, before the 82 crash and, of course, 2008, the lead up to that.
And so,
of course, there was not a pandemic before these 2 years and, you know, the previous oil-related inflation bubbles.
so the food costs, and so is every other cost, and you're paying
Yeah, everything
a
costs.
big price, like $1,000 a month in Ohio. They're strangling Ohio
$1,000 a month for what in Ohio?
families with soaring prices and crippling inflation.
He's not going to say.
Costing the typical American household nearly $800 to $1,000. And in many cases, they're thinking the real number could be $1,200 every single month.
Yeah, except it's unseasonably warm there and people aren't needing gas prices. Never mind.
The southern border, we had a southern border, was the best ever.
Yeah, COVID, thanks.
It's wide open now. Millions and millions
isn't.
of illegal aliens are pouring into our country. Violent crime is out of control, and the far left is indoctrinating our children with twisted
Same.
race and gender insanity in our schools like we've never even thought of before. This was
Well, I think the teaching of basically racism in the 30s and 40s, that would qualify.
never even thought of before.
Nobody even thinks of it.
This country has gone crazy. There's only one choice
He means you guys,
to end this madness. If
not my chat. He's talking to those people.
you support the decline and fall of America, then you must, absolutely must, vote for the radical left crazy people, the radical left Democrats. And if you want to stop the destruction of our country and save the American dream, then tomorrow you must vote Republican in a giant red wave that we've all been hearing about.
Yeah, we've totally been hearing about it. That's why you're having to do this many rallies. It's a huge wave.
There is no more urgent task for the future of our country than to stop the invasion on our southern border.
Yes, big issue in Ohio.
2 years ago, we had the strongest southern border in American history. There was nothing
During COVID, no one was going anywhere.
even close.
Yeah, they didn't even monitor if people did come across. The border agents themselves were avoiding people.
Now it's the worst border, perhaps, in the history of the world anywhere.
I blame the wall.
Because, as I say all the time,
Yes, we've heard it before. No third world country would do this. Yes, we know. They would just shoot men, women, and children. We get it.
no third world country would put up with what we've put up with over the last 2 years.
Yeah, how would they handle it?
Sticks and stones, if they had to use them, give me a stick and give me a stone. They wouldn't allow this to happen to a country.
Give me a stick and give me... What the fuck?
Even at a third world level. And I hate to tell you, our country is becoming third world. That's what's happening to us.
Dude, you do realize that's a regional airport.
Biden, Pelosi, and the radical Democrats spend all their time obsessing over the borders of distant foreign nations. Americans deserve a Congress and a president who will protect the borders of our nation. Don't you think?
He's got that Roger Stone Coke jaw tonight.
And very simply, it's called America First. We came up with that little name, and, you know, they say on the other side, we will not let America First dominate. They should really say, we don't like Trump's policies, but you don't say, we don't want America First. And then they go after MAGA all the time. We will stop MAGA. Well, MAGA means make America great again. You know, they're pretty tough to stop, JD. And good luck. Hey, JD, you have some very good polls I saw today. What the hell am I doing here? Good night, everybody.
You're being paid to be there, $250,000.
You can make this one real short, JD. Would you like to just do it for a quickie, or do you want to go through the whole deal? Uncle Sam, what do you want to do?
Oh, that motherfucker's like, dude, there's so many free repeaters at this thing. It's like the southern border.
Uncle Sam. We love Uncle Sam. You know, we have incredible women here from North Carolina, and they were with us yesterday in Miami. Did you see where we had a tropical storm? And it came down. I've never had rain like that. I've never seen anything like it.
It's in Florida, fucko.
Everything was so beautiful. And we did it for Marco Rubio. And he is doing really well, I will tell you. He's doing really well. Our people
Oh, you mean little Marco?
are doing well, JD. But all of a sudden, the song went off. You know the song. People love it. They love that last bit. Do you like it?
No, it's fucking ludicrous.
I like it. I like doing it. To me, it's beautiful. It's more beautiful. Would anybody like to see me stop doing that? We'll do a poll, free poll. So who wants to do it? And who doesn't want to do it? So you know what I just did? I saved $1 million to a pollster. You know? No, they interviewed 203 people, and they tell you that's a much better poll.
Yeah, because social pressure group, I mean, what are you going to do? Caucus everything? Jesus Christ, this is so embarrassing.
I agree. No, it was beautiful. But the music went on, and it was like somebody took a large pail of water and dropped it on my head.
Yeah, that was the Lord. Just so you know, God hates you. I'm just saying, I have a good word. Yeah. Skank Kuhneman said that anyone who gets drenched during this is a failure, and God was peeing yesterday.
And we said, I had a problem because the teleprompters were useless, okay? They were absolutely useless.
Nobody gives a fuck.
They went out, and I'm stuck up there with 25 minutes to go.
What difference does it make? You have the best words.
I had a choice. And they said, please come off the stage. You know, security, please come off the stage. Well, there was no lightning, so we didn't have danger. But I've never seen anything. This was like the worst shower you've ever taken. It was just pouring. And, you know, in Florida, it goes like that for about 10 or 15 minutes. Then it stops. The sun comes out. It's very quick, but it's brutal. So I'm doing it. And I had to throw away the teleprompters, and we did so well. And I was saying, what do you think would have happened to Biden if that happened? I don't think it would have been too good.
Biden has a free hand mic on his podium every time, and he walks and talks during the actual speeches. So he comes back to a couple of the points, but then he'll go off and tell a story, and then he'll come back to it. And this is fairly common at these things. He does it all the time.
I don't think it would have been too good. But, you know, the people...
I don't know. Watch one of his speeches. Do what I do. Trump should sit down and do what I do to one of Biden's speeches.
It was actually, people have said today, it was like a religious experience.
Fuck off.
The people,
Yes, it was like watching a bunch of people worship Satan.
music comes on, and then boom, it was like unbelievable. I've never seen anything like it.
Yeah, it's like God hates you. I understand.
You know, the teleprompters, one of them just crashed and broke. The other one was useless because you ever ride in your car where you get a really heavy rainstorm and try and see through without the windshield wipers? Which, by the way...
Ride in. Notice he said ride in.
It's called planned obsolescence. They can make a windshield wiper that would last 100 years.
Get the fuck out of here.
But they make them only so they last exactly 1 year, and then you have to buy a new one, which means they're smart, okay? Let's let them keep doing.
Okay, first of all, what kind of 1972 horse shit is this?
But you ever do that where you're driving and you can't see? Well, that's what I had with my one little remaining teleprompter. So we had to go, and we had a great evening. One of the greatest rallies we've ever had, and it was caused by God sending us the heaviest rain I've ever seen. It was unbelievable. And
only when you were on stage. Weird.
Nobody left. The media didn't even leave. The fake news. Oh, look at all of them. Wow. That's a lot of fake news back there.
That's a lot of fake news back there.
That's a lot of fake news back there.
Seriously, it's RSBN and RAV and Newsmax.
Looking at Eric and Don Trump. They're so lucky I allowed them to get into politics, right? They've been treated so kindly. These are the two most subpoenaed human beings in history. Al Capone. You ever hear of Alphonse Capone, the legendary? Jesse James, Billy the Kid. These two have had more, and they're really good kids.
That's true. They did not subpoena Billy the Kid very often. It was hard to serve him in the Wild West.
Dad, we got another subpoena from Congress, you know. Maxine Waters sent us, because she's a very honest person, Dad. She's a very honest person, Dad. No,
Why do they sound so much like the guy who plays Jeffrey Dahmer in the series?
I think they set a record. Most subpoenaed human beings in the history of the world.
Oh, wait. I think you've got them beat.
But you know
because they each don't get all of them. You get all of them.
Good news has been going on for 6 years. We're very honest. A friend of mine said, you have to be the most honest person ever.
Oh, this fucking story again.
Years and years, millions and millions of pages of documents.
And all you have to do is settle and plead the fifth.
JD, they checked every deal. They checked deals that I forgot about.
So most of them.
I said, I don't remember. I get a call from a guy I did a deal 22 years ago. Hi, Mr. President. I just wanted to let you know we were just visited by the law enforcement authorities. On what? That
the law enforcement authorities. On what?
deal we did about 23 years ago. Oh, how's it doing? Well, we sold it about 5 times already.
Oh, maybe that's why you can only sell it once, and is it like the producers?
People I haven't heard from in years. They get visited by these.
Yeah, you don't hear from them all the time. I refuse to believe you don't have a very close-knit group of friends and that you're not very close with people you've made deals with in the past.
These are sick people. These are sick people. But this is what we're going.
The people he did the deals with, he means.
Going through. JD, you got to get it stopped because that's the beginning of communism. It's the beginning of communism. I think we skipped over socialism. I say it now. You say we're going to be socialist. We are not. We've skipped over that. That's gone. Socialism is gone for about a year already, I think. We're into the world of communism right now.
Yes, it's communism. That's why they're checking his deals where he lied to banks and the IRS. It's exactly what Stalin did.
Last year, an average of 14 Ohio lives were lost to drug overdoses every single day, yet Biden and the radical Democrats do nothing to stop the lethal poisons pouring across our borders.
Well, they actually do quite a bit. That's why you're seeing a lot more of this stuff getting caught. Lots of it. Way more reports of fentanyl being stopped coming across the border than during the Trump presidency.
We had it almost stopped. We had the
No, you didn't.
Safest borders ever.
No, you didn't.
That included human trafficking, and it included drugs, but it included people. We sent thousands and
people are humans too. I know that's a controversial thought.
Thousands of MS-13 back. I'll tell you what, ICE and Border Patrol and law.
Oh my God, this whole you guys think you're tough.
Law enforcement, but they do a great job. They do a great job.
What do they do? Tell us
Brandon
what they do.
Judd, Tom Homan, these are incredible people. Since the end of the Trump administration, the drug cartels have seen their revenue skyrocket by an astounding, listen to this one, you business people. You think you're good at business? You're nothing compared to these people. 2,500%. Would you say that's good?
You mean since lockdown when nobody could be out on the streets buying and now people are back out partying and doing stuff and drug use is up because socializing is up and clubs are open and all the places where you traditionally buy drugs if you're not just a hard user?
If that were stock on the New York Stock Exchange, it would be the hottest stock of the decade.
So you're telling people to invest in the drug trade. Gotcha.
The choice this election is simple. Democrats will defund the police. Republicans will defund the cartels. And that's what happens. Under my leadership.
Well, it's not technically defunding them if Don just uses up all their product.
We waged war on the cartels. We ended catch and release. We stopped asylum fraud. And we
You just stopped all asylum. You don't get points.
threw illegal alien gang members out of our country by the thousands. And we got their countries, Guatemala, Honduras, we got their countries to take them back, JD. You know, they wouldn't take them back. Under the Obama, Barack Hussein Obama, under the Obama administration, they refused to take them
Boo Hussein
back. They said, no, we're not taking them back. So I said, I tell this, it's
oh, no, we know. We've heard it.
unbelievable.
It is unbelievable that you keep fucking telling this stupid story.
Primarily three, but
It might explain why the crowds are dwindling. You need some new material, fucko. I do. For those of you that want to join, by the way, you're watching Hal Sparks Mega Worldwide live. We're just doing this rally as it happens. I do a show at Flappers at the last Wednesday of every month. This month it will be after Thanksgiving, the Wednesday after Thanksgiving in Burbank. And I do a complete hour of fresh stand-up, unprepped. An hour. No notes, no nothing, just do it. And this motherfucker can't run through this speech and come up with new fucking stories with all the shit that's happened in the last 2 years? Jesus.
but there are others too. And said, how much do we pay them every year? What do we give them? $750 million, sir. That's a lot.
Yes,
I said, we're not going to pay them anymore. Stop payment. It's like a stop payment of a check. We stop
Yeah, it's exactly like that.
payment.
I know you didn't.
And let them know, because they're not taking back the people that they sent over. You know, they send those people over. These are very smart. They don't just happen to come. When you have these guys come over that look rough.
Yeah, the gang members don't want to come to America and sell drugs. I mean, what money is to be made here?
Than any prize fighter you've ever seen. These are rough people, tough people. They empty their prisons into our country. I said,
yes, and they're the most patient, impulsive murderers in the world.
send them back, send them back. And if they don't take them, you know, they put airplanes on their runways. So when our plane goes back loaded with these people that have to be out of our country.
So you're not communicating with the airports there, and you're just flying people in randomly, and they've got functioning airports, and they're like, hey, what the yeah, no, we have planes taking off.
They said, no, you can't land. You can't land. You have no runway. You can't land. So I said, good. Stop the $750 million. The following day, I got a call from the head of Honduras. Nice man, by the way.
What was his name?
Very smart, very streetwise.
Yeah, sure, of course. He's very streetwise. Those people are dirty. They live on the street. It's the way they are. It's Honduras. I mean, what do you expect? Of course he's streetwise. What do you think he's gone to? You think he went to Wharton?
I'll tell you what,
Yeah, tell me.
JD, these are streetwise people. These
Oh, they're very streetwise.
are smart people. They're at the top of their game. Unlike
Oh, yeah?
others that we know about. These are
You mean Don and Eric?
all, these leaders are all at the top of their game. President
Are they?
Xi of China, all
He's at the top of his game, is he? Don't get me fucking
of them.
started.
But I said stop payment. So I get
How's the yuan doing against the U.S. dollar?
a call from Honduras. I get a call from Guatemala. I get a call from El Salvador. They are principal three. Now it's everybody. It's 129 different countries.
Yeah, they all said you threatened 129 different countries.
We had last week 129 different countries. But they said, sir, we don't understand. And they called separately, almost like 8 o'clock in the morning. But I work early. So
No, you didn't. You called it executive time. You weren't even down in the Oval until 11. You're upstairs fucking tweeting.
I said, yes, Mr. President, what is it? Sir, I understand you stop payment on the money that you send us on a weekly basis.
Gibberish.
I said, how much is it? Well, we get $250 million. I said, yeah,
They do not get 250 million a fucking week.
we're stopping payment. You're never getting it again because you don't take these people back. You sent them here
Again, gibberish. Just totally made up. Sir story.
in the caravans. You sent them. And now we're going to send them back. And he said, oh, I didn't know there was a misunderstanding. They've only been trying for 10 years to get them back, but nobody did this one. And he said, you know, honestly,
Again, just gibberish.
sir, we would be honored to take them back. We love MS-13 gang members very, very much. We think they're wonderful people. We would love to have them back in our country. And I got the other 2 calls within about 20 minutes. All 3 calls within a half hour I got. And within 45 minutes, they agreed. And we were sending them back by the thousands and thousands and thousands. And then this administration comes back. They don't send anybody back. We have the worst, some of the worst, toughest people that you've ever seen coming into our country, including terrorists, and we're going to be paying a price.
By the way, this little bit is about the Afghans. This is about the people who helped us in Afghanistan who came here. We're going to be paying a price forever because they didn't vet the children.
For years to come. You know, all my predictions have been right. They say...
No, they haven't. Let's just start with your fucking healthcare plan being ready in 2 weeks.
Trump was right about everything.
No, they don't.
And I don't want to brag, but I was right about everything.
No, you thought you were going to win in 2020.
We're going to be paying a price. We've got to get them out. We got to get them out. We built hundreds of miles of border walls, and despite 2.5 years of Democrat lawsuits to stop it, and we won them all, many, many lawsuits. We completely finished our original wall plan. We had a border wall plan.
Yeah, there's footage of this. This is just some of the stuff left over. If they had only finished it, they got a ladder down there by the wall. I don't know why. I think that's a mistake.
That was beautiful. And then I said, let's add more into certain areas where it was open like a sieve. So we added more. We got that finished too. And just
sieves aren't open.
A little bit left. It would have taken 3 weeks. You heard this said.
A sieve is specifically supposed to be porous, kind of like a slat fence.
And they could have completed the job.
By the way, some asshole called Trump's design for the border wall a sieve. It looks like a sieve, and he's been pissed about it ever since.
In 3 weeks, but the radical left Democrats didn't want to do that job. That's when I got wise to the fact. I said, you know, I really think they want open borders to ravage our country, and every day these Democrat policies are getting innocent Americans killed, and killed in large numbers. Early.
Here go. Anecdote number 1.
This year, an MS-13.
Oh my gosh, thank you. Stuff for show production. Bless you. Thank you so much.
Gang member was sentenced for helping lure a teenage boy to a playground, beating him in the head with a baseball bat, and brutally stabbing him 32 times. This was an animal. Nancy Pelosi said, please don't call them animals. They're human beings. I said, no, they're animals. Of course, I think she's an animal, too. You want to know the truth?
Oh, because she wants to punch you? Are you that scared? By the way, this is a man who's never had a pet. So animals in general freak him out. Like, he doesn't even understand how dogs work.
They'll say, oh, what a horrible thing he said about Nancy. She impeached me twice for nothing. Nothing.
Well, no, both were attempts. You fucked up. I mean, you weren't capable of doing anything. You tried, though. Sort of like attempted murder. How do you even kill anybody? Yeah, because you're a fuck up and a bad shot, not because you didn't try.
They'll say, oh, these people, the fakers back there. They'll say, what a horrible thing.
Yeah, you're just gross. I don't think it's horrible. Look at this fucking kid book. Get out of here.
He called Nancy Pelosi an animal. Let me tell you, what she does to this country and what she did to and the turmoil, and it was all...
It was a lot of turmoil. There was turmoil, I would admit. It was tur and moil.
I used the word yesterday. I shouldn't. My great first lady got very upset. I said...
Oh, because he's going to say bullshit and get them to chant bullshit again.
I will never use the word bullshit again. But what she did to us in this country, and yet we got more done as an administration and a president than just about any president.
Nonsense.
In the history of our country.
Still no infrastructure bill. Still no, we're still in Afghanistan. He ran on the fucking thing. What, judges and a tax cut? Get the fuck out of here.
In 4 years.
He renegotiated parts of NAFTA. He actually thinks the Abraham Accords are a thing. You...
In Boston last year, an illegal alien visa overstayer tried to rob a father of 12 children before.
He was trying to steal the 12 children?
Stabbing him 8 times, viciously. And of
but was it vicious?
Of course, earlier this year, we all heard of the horrifying story.
Yes, the horrifying.
stabbing him 8 times, viciously. And of course, earlier this year, we all heard of the horrifying story of a legal alien right here in Ohio.
Horrifying. Hafhar. Dr. Hafhar. Yes, the death of Anne Melmahay.
Charged with raping a 10-year-old child. That story's gone all over the place.
Yeah, because Republicans wouldn't want her to be able to have the morning after pill.
When Republicans retake control of Congress,
they'll make sure she has to carry the rapist baby to term.
Must we take immediate action to force the restoration of all of our policies? All they had to do is leave it alone. We had the greatest border in history. I'll tell you 100 times. Leave it.
Yeah, we've heard it.
Alone. We had it so good.
Yeah, and then you built a wall, and somehow it's worse.
It was getting better and stronger and stronger. The drugs were down the lowest they were in 32 years.
No, they weren't. Literally, his last year in office, the largest number of fentanyl deaths in history.
And now the drugs are 7 times to 10 times higher than when we had it only 2 years ago. Think of it. The drugs are pouring in.
Well, 7 to 10 times higher than when nobody was going anywhere. Again, social drug use is the primary driver of drug sales and usage in the United States. And when people are home and can't go anywhere, it's harder for them to see their connection. Once they're back out going to fucking concerts and shit like that, then the stuff cranks up. Of course it did. This is the kind of math that says, I climbed out of a 10-foot hole, I'm 6 foot tall. That means I'm 4 feet taller now.
I told President Xi of China.
Oh my God. How do you not have a drug problem? Don't you have a drug problem? What do you do?
No more fentanyl. We're not going to do any business. We're not going to let you do any business. And you know.
And when did you say this? After or before you sold them the largest order of beef, corn, soybeans, and pork in American history, while Americans were in food lines during COVID?
It was getting stopped. Now it's gone crazy. What they've done is unbelievable. It's been.
Yes, it is not believable.
Unleashed. I want to
unleashed.
Do one thing because I think it's very important to do it.
Oh dear.
This is visit close to 100 of a group of very beautiful, I'm not allowed to say that, so I won't. They're very beautiful nevertheless. Young women from North Carolina. This is, I think, their 100th rally.
Holy shit. If he brings...
And they were so good. And actually, that's peanuts compared to Uncle Sam here and some of these people. They follow me no matter where the hell I go. I see...
Yeah, it's almost like they're not local voters, and this is a complete waste of fucking time. Why don't you just remind J.D. Vance that a huge number of the people in the crowd are not Ohio voters?
Uncle Sam. Uncle Sam, there he is. Uncle Sam is driving me crazy. Where's Uncle Sam? You're the greatest.
By the way, while you're staring at the subscribe number that they have that's on there, I would like to say subscribe. Give it a shot. I'm just saying, throwing it out there.
Look at Uncle Sam. There he is. Look at his...
That's not a real Uncle Sam. That's not, that guy's name isn't Sam. I'm just saying.
Guy. And that's not a stage deal. This guy's for real. But, you know, he loves...
No, he isn't.
Uncle Sam, do you love our country? Huh? You better believe it. No, he loves it better 2 years ago, but you're going to love it a lot very soon. But this guy... He's actually better looking than the real Uncle Sam, if you want to. But
there is no real Uncle Sam, you dumb son of a bitch.
These ladies...
It's a character.
Ladies are obviously very well-to-do. They're so magnificently attired. And they follow the tour. They call it the tour. Sometimes I feel like a rock star, JD, because we have a tour. We have a lot of people. See the front row Joes? These front row...
The front row Joes. We have a lot of repeating same fucking people.
Row Joes, these are serious people. And you know...
No, they're not. They have nothing else to do.
What?
They are waiting for JFK Jr. to show up.
All successful. They make money. They've got cars and trucks that cost a fortune. You got to see the paint job. I call them sometimes if I want something painted. I said, who the hell painted the beautiful flag on your truck? The talent they have is incredible, but we love our front row Joes. But you know, and they've been here for 3-4 days waiting. I'm surprised.
No, they haven't. They drove up from fucking Miami.
Surprised you don't get better treatment than that. Like you can't work a deal with one of our guys to get in without all the waiting. But you actually like the waiting, right? It's like a tailgate party. A lot of people, they're here. They started here 4 days ago. We've had some places where it's been a week and a half. But these ladies...
Jesus Christ. That's nuts. It's politics. You have any idea how fucking ridiculous that is? What are you doing with your life? Christ. You vote every 2 years. If there's some sort of municipal thing that happens in your district, just vote that too. What the fuck's the matter with you? Why are you tailgating a second-generation rich kid who's bankrupt a casino and served 1 term as president? It's fucking embarrassing.
Ladies are... Would you stand up, please?
Fuck off.
Look how incredible they are. Look at this. They're like central casting.
I don't...
I mean, how beautiful. I'm not allowed to use that term anymore.
Sure you are. It's just gross because of how you mean it.
It used to be you could say they're beautiful women. Today, if you use that term, they say, what a horrible thing that he is. But you are beautiful women. Look at them. We're close to 100, right? Close to 100. Unbelievable. They travel from North Carolina. They're all married. I don't know what their husbands must be thinking. How are you doing with the husbands? Are you okay? The marriages are intact?
He's just filling time at this point. He's bored by his own fucking speech.
No, but sometimes the husbands come too. I think as little as possible. I don't think they want the husbands to come. But you're great. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. Thank you. You're really great. Great people. Great people. Instead of doubling the number of IRS agents, we should...
Jesus Christ. Then he just jumps right back into this
double
shit.
The number of ICE and Border Patrol agents.
Why didn't you?
And we should pass legislation to deport every illegal alien that Joe Biden has unlawfully allowed to break into our country.
We already have legislation for people who unlawfully break into the country. Asylum isn't the same thing.
We're going to make America great again.
Magoo.
And we're going to
make America great over and over again.
Do it. First, we have to make America safe again. It's not safe. We don't have a safe country anymore.
No.
You know, in Afghanistan, I was very tough on Afghanistan. I spoke to the leader, Abdul.
Fuck off.
The fake news went crazy. Why would you call the Taliban? Because that's where, remember Jesse James, why do you rob the banks? He said, that's where the money is. Why do you call the leader the Taliban? That's where the problem was, right? And Abdul, and I got along with him very...
He was in a Pakistani jail. You got him out.
Nicely. They hate when I...
There was no problem with that guy. He was fucking arrested.
Say that. I got along with Kim Jong-un very nicely. Isn't that good that I got along with him?
No.
Right? We didn't...
Because he suckered you and he kept building missiles. I mean, they suck, but whatever.
End up in a nuclear war. You would have ended up in a nuclear war at that time, believe me. And you could end up in another one, a different one, with him and also Russia and also others, because our people don't know what the hell they're doing, okay? But
don't, you might die in a fiery hellstorm in the next couple of years. But anyways, where was I? Oh, yeah.
So...
Me.
We have so many things happening that were, call them unforced errors. Inflation should have never happened. That was caused by...
It's happening all over the fucking world.
Energy. Now everything's inflated. In fact, energy is less than many other things.
That's because it's the source of the rise in prices. It's just why it's not inflation, it's supply.
Forget about buying a turkey for Thanksgiving.
Oh, my God. We covered this last time.
Has anybody bought your turkey yet for Thanksgiving? Because if you haven't...
By the way, do you hear that? Yes. A bunch of people said yes, but they don't want to. They can't say yes because he just told them you can't get one.
Don't even waste your time. Number one, you probably won't get it, and if you do, you're going to pay approximately 3 times more than you did. Under the
Than you did when? 2 Thanksgivings ago when you couldn't fucking visit your fucking family? Extrapolate the savings over a couple of years.
Radical left Democrats, the streets of our cities are ruled by bloodthirsty gangs and violent criminals. Much of the crime wave is caused by drug dealers who, during the course of their lives, will kill an average of 500 Americans.
Yeah, we've heard this before. By the way, let's see. A butterball turkey from DoorDash is going to cost you, that's a big sucker, 20 frozen, 20 to 24 pounds, $39.40. This organic turkey is 8 to 10 pounds on average. That's $75. That's very fancy, organic. This one, Wild Fork Foods has a 16 to 20 pound for just $16.92. That's a price drop. Look at that. The price has gone down in this last little bit. Honey baked Cajun turkey is frozen. That's going to be $73. There's the butterball frozen, 10 to 16 pounds from Walmart. That's 10 to 16 pounds right there. That's $1.19 for that young turkey. What is happening? $1.19. That's, I mean, come on, gluten-free, bone-in, a whole butterball. $28 for that one. $20 serves what? 12 people. Whole turkey feast, 120. That's a whole turkey. This is the whole dinner. Everything. Honey baked ham, stuffing, pumpkin pie. Pumpkin pie. Yeah. There's the whole dinner. You get the whole dinner in. Deep fried turkey. Already cooked. 99 Omaha Steaks will send you a 10-pound basted turkey, one piece, all cooked, $100. Look, there's a live turkey for $56. If you just want to release one into the wild, I suppose. The fancy turkeys, and then there's the Walmart turkeys. Good belly, there you go, $94 for that one. Already cooked. A lot of pre-prepared. I was not aware that there was such a big market. By the way, these times are a good time. The Harvest Feast, these little turkey things, we make these. Summer doesn't eat poultry, so I make these guys. They're really good. There's a big glazed ham. By the way, you know why turkey prices are up? Avian flu.
Think of that. A drug dealer will kill, on average, 500 people.
Again, like, just this big extrapolated over drug deaths and how many you think there are over the course of, like, just silly.
I am calling for the death penalty for drug dealers and human traffickers, which will, upon its passage, reduce drug distribution
by 75%
and reduce crime in our country by a minimum of 75%.
A minimum, yes. All other crimes, people, graffiti, burglary, it'll all go down. Oh, level 1 hype train. Help us out over there at Twitch if you want to, twitch.tv/AlSparks.
On the first day that this policy is instituted, and maybe I could ask JD to lead it, you will never...
No. JD Vance is not going to lead on a death penalty for drug dealers.
We'll lose an election again if you did. And I don't like to bring this up. It's a tough subject. I don't know if the country's ready for it.
No, they're not. We never will. If he does this quick trial...
I'll tell you, with
again.
President Xi in China, I see him.
God.
Say, President, you have 1.5 billion people. Do you have a drug problem? No.
1.2.
Oh, no drug problem. I say, how do you do that? I really sort of knew, but I didn't want to.
Yeah. I've told this story so many times. I know what the answer is going to be.
How do you do that?
It's like doing a play. It's hard to react when you know what the line's going to be after, doing it for about 5 months.
And he probably thought I was somewhat naive. He goes,
no, stupid. Children are naive. You're a moron.
We have quick trial. I said, what's a quick trial? I think I knew what that was, too. That means they catch a drug dealer. They give them a quick trial. Not a trial that takes 12 years and 12 years of appeals, 25 years later, and everyone's dead by the time they get to the end of that. No, this is a trial that takes approximately 2 hours. And if they're guilty...
Yeah, by the way, in the Chinese system, you're guilty until proven innocent.
Guilty, they are executed. And the bullet, and the bullet, I don't know if anybody wants to know.
They bill your family for the bullet, is that?
No, it gets a little bit too graphic, but the bullet is sent to their families. You know that, right? You know that?
No, they don't send the bullet. The story is they bill your family for the bullet. It's silly.
It's actually sent to their families.
No, it isn't.
It's pretty tough.
They don't fucking pull the bullet out of a dead person's head and send it to their fucking family as a warning. What the fuck?
There's no games. So they have no...
That is a game.
No drug problem whatsoever. He actually thought it was a foolish question. I said, do you have a drug problem? Absolutely not. What are you talking about? Of course we don't. Because we don't.
The Chinese system is all based on face. You embarrassed him by asking the question. Of course they have a drug problem. There's 1.2 billion people in the fucking country. 1.1. 900. I gotta move on or
play games. You look at Singapore, you look at other countries, wherever they have the death penalty, zero drug problems. Drugs are causing us tremendous problem. And unless you do this, I'm tired of blue ribbon committees.
Matthew,
I set up these wonderful blue ribbon committees composed of diplomats, people like nice people, society ladies from New York.
He means his wife.
They care. But you're dealing with very, very vicious, very smart, very tough people making a fortune. You have to get tough. And if you don't do the death penalty, you'll never stop crime in this country. And you'll never, as great as our police are, and they're great, we have to give them back their authority. But you can stop 75, 80% of the crime in this country with the proper passage of a meaningful bill. And it's got to be done. I don't like being the one to say it. Other people, everyone agrees with me, by the way. I have nobody that doesn't. Remember, everyone kills 500 people. So you're doing something that's a good thing. But all of the countries that do that, and there are quite a few, they have no problem whatsoever. With a Republican Congress, we must also pass critical funding to hire thousands more police officers nationwide
Biden's
and put
already done
violent criminals behind.
Literally, Biden has already done it.
Bars and keep them behind bars. We need to let our police do their job. We love our police, and only.
Except the Capitol Police, which, you know, of course, fuck them.
Look, they know what to do, but they're prevented from doing their job.
No, they are not.
If you want safety for your family and security for your community, you need to vote. Look, you got
for Republicans, did you forget that?
Got to get these people out of office. They got to leave because they're killing our country. Defund the police. How about defund the police? There is a city I won't mention because I know some very good people there. I know some people in the real estate business. They're dying. You get robbed and you call the police. And they'll show up. They'll do the best they can to show up 8 hours later. You know that story. If you're being accosted, Uncle Sam, if you're being accosted in a certain number of cities, it takes hours and hours for the police to come.
No, it doesn't.
And then they want to defund the police. And it has to.
Wait, the cops show up and they want to defund the police? Because, I mean, what were they doing all 8 hours?
To be just the opposite. So vote Republicans up and down the line. We all agree we got to stop crime. The Democrats are a catastrophe. Every single Democrat city is a disaster without exception.
Yeah, we don't even go to outside anymore. Yeah, if you have a Democratic mayor or a city council or whatever, like you can't even walk around.
There's no exception.
There's no businesses. All the restaurants are closed. There's no concerts. It's just sad. Portland's a crater.
And the Republican cities and the Republican states run very well. And
dude, half of the states you're talking about have almost no people in them.
That's not because I'm out here to promote a product.
Yes, it is. Dude, look at the fucking, it's not JD Vance. Look what's on the fucking podium.
I'm not. But that's the way it is. You look.
And by the way, there's no way this rambly bullshit is him launching, I'm going to run for president. Tonight I announced that not fucking happening.
Get the list.
If he does, what a pathetic, rambly introduction. Holy shit. Yeah, he's going to wag his fucking tongue in Vandalia, Ohio for an hour and change and then go, oh, also, by the way, I'm running for president.
25 out of 25, the most dangerous places on earth. Again, more dangerous than
No.
in Afghanistan.
No, not more dangerous than fucking Afghanistan.
Told Abdul.
All right, when I told Abdul, oh shit.
Don't kill our soldiers. We're killing a lot of soldiers. They're snipers. Losing a lot under the
Under the Trump administration?
Obama administration was a disaster.
Oh, and then they just stopped shooting when you were, oh, by the way, there were 96 dignified transfers of the remains of soldiers killed in Afghanistan and other countries around the world. Trump went to 4 of them. After the 4th one, at the 4th one of the parents was angry at him for ordering them into this area where they got them killed, and he stopped going. Pence went.
And I said, don't do it, Abdul. Don't do it. But
don't do it, and we'll leave by next May. And, of course, he was never going to leave. He lied about that, too. They would have just started shooting him.
Why, but why, he said. But why?
Well, why, but why do you show me a picture of my house? 'Cause I'm not there. Oh, but women and children are there, and so, I'll kill them.
Why do you send me a picture of my house? I said, because I think you have a beautiful house, Abdul. Don't kill any more of our soldiers. And from that call on...
Dude was in jail. He got him out of jail. His family was in that house, in theory.
18 months, and...
He wasn't in that house, nor did he go back to that house until after we left.
You know what? Biden actually used it in one of his speeches, and they really they were screaming at him to, don't...
No, they weren't. This is all made up.
Say that. They didn't want, because it's good. 18 months, not one soldier was killed for 18 months until the disaster at the airport.
Which I think is the most embarrassing moment for the whole day.
Which should have never taken place, because you don't...
Well, you're right. It was never going to take place because he was going to keep Bagram. He'll tell you in a second. And he was never going to leave.
Don't move the soldiers out first. You move the soldiers out last.
We did move the soldiers out last. The last person to leave of the planes that were taking people out was a soldier, and he didn't even walk backwards with his gun facing out because he wasn't afraid. He walked up the ramp holding his gun, and they split.
One of the worst and most sinister aspects of the Biden administration is their complete and total corruption of our justice system and the rule of law.
Okay, we're just going to jump from Afghanistan to how he's being treated by the courts around his own fucking grift.
Before our very eyes, Biden and his left-wing handlers are turning America into a police state. That's what we're turning into, a police state.
Wait, we're turning into a police state, but you can't, if you call the cops, they won't be there for 8 hours. Huh? How is it a fucking police state if, all right. This is, all right, keep whining.
Like something out of the communist countries that you would read about all the time.
I would. I read about them all the time. Do you read about them all the time? You do realize they were actually giving him briefings, and he doesn't remember any of it.
The radical Democrats are locking up pro-life activists.
No, they're not. They're locking up people who are guilty of assault. There's a bunch, by the way, there's a shit ton of pro-life activists in that crowd. None of them have been to jail just for what they think.
Shooting their political opponents, silencing dissent.
Silencing.
And using the full force of government, law enforcement, and the media to try and defeat our movement. And by the way, Catherine Engel.
No, that movement is self-defeating.
Brecht of Truth to Vote was let out of prison today.
True the vote. Prison? She went to jail overnight for contempt. Relax.
She was let out of prison today.
She was let out of prison today. Okay, good. So she served the time the judge gave her, and then they're going to give her a fine, and then if she doesn't agree to answer, she's going to go back.
She did an incredible job. She was studying the tapes, thousands of hours, along with incredible patriots, many, many men and women. They had a team.
Oh, fuck, he's doing 2,000 mules.
And they did, 2,000 mules.
Right.
And amazing job. I don't know if you know that a week ago they put her in prison.
Yeah, man, I heard that.
And you know why? They made up.
They did. I watched that True the Vote thing. Hold on. I got to fix this. It's all fucked up. Hold on. We got to slide this fucker up here so we can see what's going on. Yeah, I watched all that. I saw that 2,000 Muse thing, and that was great. I didn't realize, I was like halfway through that movie, and I was like waiting to see kind of like a trail donkey. And fuck if it wasn't a metaphor. I was very disappointed. I was. Hi, I'm Ficus. Welcome.
Some excuse about not revealing a source. Well, how about revealing the source that leaked the information from the Supreme Court? Why don't you do something with that person?
Yeah, it's true. I mean, obviously, they're from Thomas's or Alito, one of those, because they were trying to get people all excited about voting this fall. They were like, we're going to do it. We're getting rid of Roe v. Wade. Come on. You guys aren't excited to vote for Republicans. And they released it, and then they're like, oh, shit, that's illegal.
They put her in prison because she wouldn't reveal.
Jail. There's a difference between prison and jail, man. Jail's temporary. Prison's the long haul, son.
Yeah, but they didn't put the reporter in prison. Who knows who that person is, right?
The reporter. Oh, you mean the other case? He's kind of running them together.
Find that
I'm in like pronoun hell with this fucker.
very easily. The Supreme Court could find that very easily. I'm giving that information.
Apparently not. Apparently they digging around. They don't know what the fuck is happening.
To the Supreme Court, because I think the leaking from the Supreme Court, first time it's ever happened, is just unbelievable.
It is not believable. I agree. I can't believe they did this, whatever. And they haven't checked that Ketanji Brown Jackson woman, she wasn't in there yet. She wasn't sworn in. She didn't have access. So I would say, last one in, first one out. Who the fuck was guilty? Who had the most to gain from people knowing that the Supreme Court was going to overturn Roe v. Wade? And who was the newest person in there that had actually said that they weren't going to overturn it, but then, basically was running on the idea that they were, and was picked specifically that oh shit. I think it's that Amy Coney Burdett.
But you get the information very easily. You tell the reporter, who is it? And the reporter will...
You ask the reporter, who is it? Telling them, if you tell them who it is, then you're leading the witness. Your Honor, I object.
Either tell you or not. And if the reporter doesn't want to tell you, it's bye-bye. The reporter goes to jail.
No, that's not how it works in America, dummy. We got freedom of the press.
And when the reporter learns that he's going to be married in 2 days to a certain prisoner that's extremely strong, tough, and mean, he will say, he or she, I think I'm going to give you the information.
Yeah, the good thing about Donald Trump, I will say this, that he is a equal opportunity rape apologist. You know what I mean? Hey, he ain't gender specific. He thinks rape should be used as a weapon of control, no matter who it is. And that's what, that's what MAG is all about, man.
Here's the leaker. Get me the hell out of here. Every freedom-loving American needs to understand the time to stand up to this growing left-wing...
I am standing up.
...tyranny is right now.
Is it? Now? It's a little late, ain't it? Tomorrow's election day.
You want to save your rights and liberties, you have to start by dealing a humiliating rebuke to the radical left in this election. This is so important, this election. J.D. Vance. His opponent is making me like I'm his best friend. I don't know this guy, but he's far left. He voted with Obama. I think he voted with Obama and with Biden 100% of the time.
If he didn't, he basically did. Look, if they in for a penny, in for a push, you know what I'm saying?
And now he's going out saying Trump is great. I agree with all his policies. I love Trump. I think Trump is wonderful. I don't know.
Now, that's weird. Even J.D. Vance ain't saying that. J.D. Vance said you were Shitler.
The gentleman, I can tell you this.
You say that about a lot of people. It's a little hard for people to take that, as rote.
He's not for us. He's
not.
Radical left lunatic who's now trying to jump on the bandwagon because that...
Yes, this is the perfect time to listen to me, to jump on the bandwagon of Trump, as it's really taken off. You know what I mean? 2015, 20 shitstein. Come on, man. This is the time. Right now, Trump has never been hotter. The rallies have never been smaller. That
stuff failed so badly, but they're not going to stop. They're going to continue to go on with it. Tomorrow you have to crush the communists because that's what they are at the ballot. Yeah,
crush them communists. And that includes any Republican that got a PPP loan and didn't have to pay it back.
Ballot box.
Like that Marjorie Trader Greene.
6 straight years,
that Marxist Taylor Greene.
Witch hunts, hoaxes, and abuses.
That was funny. I came up with that myself. I just thought of that like right out of my dome.
Have been coming fast and furious.
Well, they ain't the only ones. Woohoo! come on now.
They are abuses and they are hoaxes.
Well, self-abuse. I mean, it may be a crime, but it ain't no sin. No, it may be a sin, but it ain't no crime. I don't know. I like it. I may not know masturbation, but I know what I like.
First, we learned they spied on my campaign. Can you imagine?
No, you can. You imagine it all the time.
Can you imagine if
I am imagining it right now that you bring it up.
if we spied on Barack Hussein Obama's campaign?
Yeah, you'd be bored to tears.
It would be the death penalty. You get the death penalty, Uncle Sam.
And Uncle Sam. You can't just say Uncle Sam after saying Barack Hussein Obama. You'll choke yourself to fucking death. That's like a lozenge when it gets stuck to the roof or the back of your throat.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine if we spied on Barack Hussein Obama's campaign?
I'm doing it.
It would be the death penalty. You get the death penalty, Uncle Sam, death penalty.
Uncle Sam. Uncle Sam.
Right? They would reinstitute
Institute
the death penalty. Trump spied on Obama. Can you imagine?
Yeah, but you wouldn't have found nothing. They's pretty boring, man.
We caught them spying on my campaign. Nothing happens.
Maybe because you didn't?
And then you have a guy like Bill Barr. He's so petrified of being impeached, he doesn't want to do it. Oh, sir, they're going to impeach me. I said, I got impeached twice. My poll numbers went up. What's the big deal? It's true. I told him. But he didn't want to be impeached.
That's weird.
Didn't want.
He didn't mind being impeached for something he believed in, though. You see, he just knew you're full of shit. So that's the part that got a little.
No, sir, the election was beautiful. 2 months before, he was talking about how corrupt everything was with the election. The U.S. attorney from Pennsylvania, he wrote a letter saying Barr would not let him investigate Philadelphia, which was so corrupt. And the Philadelphia court, just ruled that it was corrupt. And they said it was all those ballots, hundreds of thousands of ballots were invalidated. But they said we won't talk about 2020. From now on, you can't do that. You know what that means? That means Mike Pence should have sent it back to the legislature. That's what that means.
That's right, man. You were right about snag Mike Pence.
He should have done it. He's a good man. He's a good man, but he should have done it. He made a mistake. He had bad advice. Because we were right. We were right.
That's nice. So he's nicer to Mike Pence now than he is to fucking DeSantis? Shit.
Right about that. Then they lied to Congress. They lied to the FISA court.
I'm back.
And created a fake dossier that wasn't good for me to go home that night and explain to the First Lady. That was not a good dossier. JD, you never want to have to do that. Never.
Well, he's probably never going to be in a Russian hotel room with hookers and have them pee on the bed just to be nasty because Barack Obama and his wife slept there, because that's fucking weird.
That was not good. But she actually believed me. She said, I know that's not your thing. You know why? Because I'm a germ freak. She said, you're not. That's.
Hey, fuckhead. Again, this is a create your own straw man and then attack it. Nobody said the PP tape was about the hookers peeing on him. He was with a bunch of hookers. They'd done whatever the 85 seconds of sex that he had paid $10,000 for. And then he told them one of the girls had to use the bathroom and another girl was probably in there washing up or, calling her priest or whatever, vomiting. And the other girl had to pee, and he basically said, pee on the bed. Barack and Michelle Obama slept there. They pissed on the bed because Obama had slept there, not because Trump was into shit. It was just a fuck you to Obama, which is weird because it's not like they were sleeping there the next night or something. It's just weird.
It's not your thing.
What is your thing?
That's not. But the fake dossier that was done and paid for by crooked Hillary.
Yeah, he's not into pee. He likes scat. He likes straight up hot plates. He stretching saran wrap over his face and a hot dookie. That's his thing.
Clinton, the Democrat.
Pee is too lightweight for him. Makes his hair the wrong color.
National Committee and the Democrat Party. They found that out later. This dossier that was this thick, it was paid for by crooked.
It was this thick. It was like 4 pages.
Crooked Hillary and the Democrats.
Nope.
And yet, after all of their lies,
they want to yell lock her up.
And all of their corruption, these same people keep coming after me. They keep coming after Trump. Remember, first it was Russia, Russia, Russia. Then it was
Wait, he's got to have this shit in the teleprompter?
Ukraine, Ukraine, Ukraine. Remember that? The perfect phone call. And the Mueller witch hunt where...
Which was before the Ukrainian phone call, which is why the Ukrainian phone call happened, because you thought you'd beaten the Mueller report.
The conclusion was no collusion. Think of that. The conclusion was no collusion. Now,
Not true.
do you think Biden can say that? I don't think.
Well, he can't because it's a lie.
Could you imagine if they gave him that? Even if it was on a teleprompter, I give him a 2% chance of getting that one done. And then they hit me with impeachment hoax number 1, impeachment hoax number 2.
They were related.
The censorship of the Biden family corruption story as Russian disinformation by the FBI. Remember when they went up to Facebook and they said that his laptop from hell, they call it the laptop from hell.
No, they don't.
Somebody named Miranda Devine wrote a great book, and she gives me credit for that. She said, I saw that name. You use that name. I'm so happy with my names. I love my names. But she said laptop from hell was so
But there is no laptop, so that's why Steve Bannon keeps saying hard drive from hell.
good that she used it on a book, and it was an incredible book, actually. And she's a fantastic reporter. But it was the laptop from hell, and they said it was Russia disinformation. No, it wasn't. It was from Hunter. Can you imagine the father? I'm not sure he understood it, but assuming he understood what was on that laptop. No, could
Yeah, can you imagine what laptop?
you imagine, Don, if that ever happens to you, if you ever have a laptop like that, I swear, I'll never speak to you again. Okay?
So Trump lets you to know that if his son is drug addicted and astray after I suppose Eric dies in this scenario, fuck him. That's the idea.
Eric, that includes you, just so you understand.
Ivanka, no way, nope, not a problem.
No,
It's just spank bang.
could you imagine, assuming he knew what the hell he was doing, could you imagine when he sees, oh my, have you seen what's in that the fake news, all those beautiful people, look at them, they're waiting for something. Look at them, that's a lot. Wow.
Wow, I thought everybody'd stop giving a shit. Why does RSBN need 4 cameras?
But could you imagine, though, if we had an honest press where they would actually report what's on that laptop? That laptop is a disaster. And he left it with the repairman, and the repairman is waiting, trying to figure it. Then he opens it up one day, and he says, oh, my God, this is unbelievable. And it was just minor.
Is that how the story went?
Stuff is reported, but that thing is a disaster, and they get left alone.
It's just minor stuff. That's how they report it, and they get left alone. Yeah, there's fucking nothing.
But everyone knew that the Russia disinformation wasn't true, and it made a 17-point difference in the polls, but we didn't need it.
No, the 17-point difference in the polls was supposedly if people had believed the Hunter Biden story or had heard about it, it would have made a 17-point difference. That was the people selling him the hard drive. Like, if we release this in October and Rudy can, help release it, it will make you'll be totally fine. Don't worry about it.
We had plenty of votes. We had more votes than any president, any sitting president ever. More votes by far. By far.
Yeah, because of people being home and because of mail-in voting. Still, Biden kicked your ass.
We didn't need more votes.
Yes, you did. You needed a lot more.
All we needed was honest vote counters, Uncle Sam. The vote count.
Please put that fucker on stage with you from now on and just reference him. Have him sit in a fucking chair.
Is more important than the candidate. I hate to tell. I could take a great candidate like J.D. Vance, and I could take a great vote counter, some crook, some Democrat crook, radical left crazy man, and I'll bet on that guy every time. I hate to say it. You got to be careful. We have to strengthen up, and we have to go to all paper ballots very quickly. Same day voting, all paper ballots.
Yeah, one day voting is what he means.
Voter ID, very simple.
Then make it free.
In Pennsylvania, they just announced, here we go again, that it could take 3 or 4 days to come up with a vote. So we're going to be watching this election for maybe weeks. And the purpose of these machines one of them was speed, right? Well, in France, 36 million people, it was all done by 10 o'clock in the evening, and nobody was complaining. I mean, you had one person that was sad and one person that was happy, but there were no complaints. And you had all paper ballots, all same-day voting. This stuff with 48 days to vote. And then they take boxes of ballots and they put them here, and they take a wheelbarrow full, they put it down.
This is, again, the big lie. It's just driving people away from voting. Most of these people aren't going to vote. And most of the people like the front row Joes and all that crowd, they're not from Ohio. It doesn't matter.
Nobody knows what's going on. Why are they moving all those ballots? Why are they going? This is the most corrupt system. And that's why we have to have not a Bill Barr that's afraid to act. You need people that are really tough and really smart and that love.
Right. And apparently you couldn't find any of those people, and everybody you brought in was a complete idiot.
Our country and don't care.
Every time, like, I know the best people. Everybody he brought in, he fucking hates them.
They love our country. You got to solve this problem.
By the way, let me show you something real quick.
But one way you can help is by just swamping them with good votes. And that's what we have to do, JD. We have to get out there and swamp them with the votes, because that gets harder. The more you get, the harder it is. You know, it's sort of a simple formula. And then it was the January 6th Unselect Committee. I love that term. I never got credit for that term. You know, they go.
It's because it's stupid.
Go over it like it's nothing. I say that term. I give it to the biggest reporters.
Yeah, by the way, do you notice how much he's sounding like Mike Pillow? Like, they don't even call me. I reach out to them, tell them this. I've got all this evidence, and then they don't even call me back. It's same fucking shit.
Unselect Committee. They never correct me. They say this guy's impossible. But I love the term. I think it's one of the best. The Unselect Committee of.
It's just weird. It's silly.
Political hacks and thugs, and they have just appalling misconduct on that committee. And the two things that
misconduct. Yeah, they're always throwing shit.
They won't.
They can't get a single Republican to sit down in front of that committee except all of them.
Discuss on that committee are the fact that Nancy Pelosi is in charge of Capitol security. And we recommended from 10 to 20,000 soldiers be there because we knew it was going to be a big.
No.
A lot of people coming. Everybody I called, everybody I spoke to, I'm going to be there on January 6th. I said.
He was like, yeah, he was running phone banks.
A lot of people are going to be there. All I did was make a speech, right? Peacefully and patriotically. I said peacefully and patriotically, and they say, oh, that's so terrible. You ever hear Maxine Waters' speeches? You ever hear some of these? You ever hear Schumer's speech in front of the Supreme Court that he should have been in trouble for that speech? And I told our Attorney General, you should look at that. If a mobster made that speech.
Yeah, mobsters have a history of killing people. This is Chuck Schumer.
They would have been put in jail for 10 years for what Schumer said.
No. Even still, no.
In front of the courthouse. And he knows it's right. I pressed it very hard. I said.
Yes, and yet you failed. Like everything else.
What he said is terrible. But
by the way, you're watching Hal Sparks Mega Worldwide. We're doing this full rally tonight. It's a nail biter. It's all very exciting. I feel we've all grown as people. I'm going to skip over when he starts introducing people and get to the fucking Q shit at the end.
This conduct is taking place now by the racist, incompetent New York State Attorney General, Letitia Peekaboo James.
Again, peekaboo is a watered down version of a racist term for black people. Starts with a J, ends with boo.
She's terrible. Who is presiding over record numbers of murders, rapes, drug deals, and every other form of crime. She's horrible. She doesn't give a damn about.
Well, if she's presiding over them, apparently she's doing very well if they're going up.
New York. New York's going to hell. In our once great New York State, but only spends her time going after political opponents. That's all she cares about. She wants to go after political opponents. She ran for governor. She got so little votes. She ran for 5 weeks and she got out. She didn't even register in the polls. But yet she said, I'm going back to the Attorney General position.
And then she won.
You know, she left the Attorney General position to run for governor. She failed, and then she went back. Just last week, at her request, a radical left lunatic judge named Engoron, Democrat, big.
Oh, right. Now he's bitching about the cases against him. This is great. Good Lord.
Radical left Democrat. Truly hates me. An arrogant.
Well, I mean, you know, I maybe it's part of the broken clock thing. Maybe the guy's right twice a day, and that if He hates you. He's probably right.
Arrogant, out of control, Trump-hating maniac
I feel seen.
who is totally dominated by my worst enemies in the Democrat Party. This is a judge that's dominated.
Really? Just zipper hood and all?
This is a guy that's going to make a decision on me and those boys and my family and hates Trump beyond anything you... I don't know him, never met him.
Yeah, he doesn't hate you as a... Like, I mean, obviously, a lot of people can see, like, just your Access Hollywood tape or your interview with Chris Matthews where you're saying that there should be a punishment for women who have an abortion. And that's enough for most people to go, fuck you, dude, and dislike you. But a lot of them, once they see the evidence against you, especially, then they really get a visceral idea of who you are as a fucking human being. And I think that's a big part of it.
But he actually said in court that, quote, he's just a bad guy, Trump. He's a bad guy. I never met the gentleman. I know nothing about him.
Yeah, I don't... Nobody had to meet fucking Jeffrey Dahmer to know he was a bad person. You know what I mean? Like the jury, all of them got the opinion after a while, after hearing the evidence, that he was not nice. And they had never met him.
I created thousands and thousands of jobs, built an unbelievable country.
What? You built what?
He's just a bad guy, Trump. He's a bad guy. I never met the gentleman. I know nothing about him. I created thousands and thousands of jobs, built an unbelievable country. The company that I built is
company.
Unbelievable.
Yes, it's not believable. You took your dad's real estate empire and turned it into like a branding effort where you just put stickers on shit.
Very little debt.
Very little.
Unbelievable assets. Great everything. It's great.
Ass hat is the term.
And I got this guy. Looking, and I don't get a jury. I don't even get a jury. I said, I want jury. No. This guy's...
I want jury. No. I want to have a jury. No. I got to have a jury. No. What the fuck?
It's a corrupt system. New York is a very corrupt judicial system. And
yes, we know. That's why you avoided prosecution for so long.
They better get it straightened out because businesses are leaving New York because of things like this.
Your business is leaving forcibly. Don't let the door hit you.
But they started a process of unconstitutional property confiscation, very much akin to Venezuela, Cuba, or the old Soviet Union.
Oh, he's starting to salivate. The Adderall's kicking in. Property confiscation? What the fuck have they taken? They've subpoenaed documents from him? What? They didn't go in there and fucking take furniture.
This case was supposed to be in front of another judge with experience, but New York State court system doesn't do that because it's corrupt. It's a corrupt system. It really.
They don't use experienced judges on big expensive trials. Just the new guy.
You have a much better system in Ohio. I don't know who the hell's in charge of it, but they've done a much better job.
What are you talking about? How the fuck would you know? You don't have a business in Ohio.
But.
Who'd you ask? The dude who was supposedly going to bring the fucking carrier plant?
They should take this Ngora.
By the way, the right side has lost 20,000 viewers since this little part of the rant started.
Turn off the case and put somebody that can be fair. You can't have impartial. You can't have judges that are totally partial. They have their.
Yeah, they can't. They need impartiality, not partiality. Stop me if I'm speaking too quickly or in too much legal mumbo jumbo. I like them because they're partial to me as a person.
They're hatreds. This is a Trump.
They have partials and hatreds. The partial, it's like a 1/5 the hatred you get from another judge.
You can't do that. So I'm being judged by this political never-Trumper, and I'm not even allowed, think of it, I'm not allowed to have a jury. This is the beginning of...
It's like a civil court procedure. I asked for a fucking jury.
Communist.
By the way, in the case he just settled, they were looking for a jury, And his attorneys realize at one point they're never going to find a jury that believes any of his bullshit, so they just settle.
Likewise, a local left-wing DA in Atlanta is after me for an absolutely perfect phone call about election integrity. Even while Atlanta has among the highest murder rates per capita of any city in the country, they actually are higher than per capita, worse than Chicago, which is a disaster. And all of these local Democrat-run cases are being directed by Washington, D.C. It's
no, they are
part of the witch hunt.
No, it's not.
Gone on the largest witch hunt in history.
Witch hunt. By the way, somebody was asking how long before he does witch hunt. It's a lot. Yeah, he just lost another 1,000.
I have gone through the largest witch hunt in the.
Boo! Fucking you! Oh my God! Why won't they leave him alone? Leave Donald Trump alone! Oh my God! He's so fucking innocent, you guys! Oh my fucking God! All right? It's not even fucking close to fair, okay? Why don't you leave it just a witch hunt? It's terrible. History is going to be very kind
of our country.
Of our country. Fuck
and
you.
it's a disgrace.
It's a disgrace.
And, you know, a friend of mine, very smart guy, came up.
He's very smart. That guy was so fucking smart. Okay?
To me, he said, you've been going through this for 6.5 years.
You must be the most innocent guy and smartest and honest guy ever.
You have to be the most honest person. It's true.
Oh my God, it's so bad he's having to restate the same sentence he started the fucking entire speech with.
Can you imagine?
I cannot imagine this. Fuck you.
11 million pages.
11 million pages
of documents they've
it's terrible.
Examined, and they got nothing.
They've got nothing except there's a trial going on right now. Good Lord. The whining. Grow the fuck up.
They have one person that they're torturing. Think of this, about a company-owned car, didn't pay tax on a company-owned car, didn't pay tax on a company-owned apartment. They're called...
Didn't pay tax on a shit of company stuff that they were doing as deferred assets.
Fringe benefits. Didn't report...
Yeah, you didn't report it either. You could have paid those taxes for him.
That I paid the education for his grandchildren. A very good man, 75 years.
Yeah, then why didn't you pay, if you're paying that, pay the fucking taxes on it so he doesn't catch shit later.
They're torturing him because they want him to say anything bad about Trump. Say something bad. They put him in handcuffs. A friend of mine owns a big accounting firm. He said, there's never been a case like this before.
Yes, no accountant has ever been put in handcuffs before.
They have persecuted this man in order...
Say his name. He has a name. Robert Paulson. Say his name.
For him to say something. And then ultimately they offer him a deal. You go to jail for a couple of weeks or a couple of months, or you go to jail for many years. He said, I have to say, this is what... Think of what they did.
What did he take the deal? Is Weisselberg, is he rolling on you? Is that what we're finding out?
Anybody out here would probably take a deal like that. I wouldn't. I'll be honest, I wouldn't.
Yeah, because you look forward to jail.
But they torture, and this is what they...
They didn't fucking torture him. What are you talking about?
They used to do, and do currently in communist countries, and that's where we're going.
Are they going to... I'm sorry. Has Alan Weisselberg's family received a bullet in the mail? What the fuck are you talking about?
That's where we're going. Think of it.
Think of this.
Handcuffs, walked in front, a man that never heard of jail before.
Really? He's never even heard of it? Why would you hire someone so uneducated to work for your company?
A man that never had a problem with anything before.
Anything. Never had a problem with anything. He must have been the cheeriest motherfucker in the world.
Handcuffs, and they perk walked him in front of the press.
They perk walked him. Did they?
In handcuffs, and nobody...
So it was, did he pay extra for these perks?
A man that never heard of jail before. A man that never had a problem with anything before. Handcuffs, and they perk walked him in front.
Yeah, they perk walked him. Yeah, that perk walking. He's done this multiple times. Nobody's fucking corrected him. It's perp. Perpetrator. Perp. For all this Law and Order talk, watch one fucking episode. You know what? Maybe the problem is that he's going to jail for perks you gave him that he didn't pay taxes on. Maybe it is a perk walk after all.
front of the press in handcuffs, and nobody has ever been criminally charged in this country, from what we understand, on a fringe benefit case. A company-owned car, think of that.
Yeah, that's not all. That's just part of it. It's not a company car. He hid millions of dollars. He cooked the fucking books. That's part of the trial for your whole fucking company.
Didn't pay tax on a company-owned car, a company-owned apartment, and they...
Why didn't you pay it for him? Again, fuck you. Why didn't Trump pay? This is the big question. Why is no one asking this? Why did Trump, when he gave him a car and paid for his kid's education and gave him an apartment, why didn't he pay for the taxes on it as part of the deal?
Say that very few people do. How many people, I wonder, how many people here have a company-owned car? Anybody have a company? Do you pay tax, sir? You know what? Cover your face, please. Do you pay tax?
Of course he does.
Uncle Sam, do you have a company-owned car, please? I guarantee even Uncle Sam probably doesn't pay tax, you know. But it's
What?
It's a shame. It's a shame. When I see what's going on, it's a shame. Our country is really going...
It's a shame and a sham. It's a shamey sham.
...to hell. We have a weaponized Department of Justice. And
yeah, weaponized. They love that one. So weaponized is the new word for anybody who's guilty to complain about the FBI. Just like warmonger is the, Tulsi Jimmy Dore pro-Putin crowd's word for anybody who doesn't think Ukrainians should be murdered and raped.
A weaponized FBI, including, of course, the raid of Mar-a-Lago.
Mar-a-Lago. It's not a raid. It was a search and seizure warrant.
In the
search and seizure warrant. I can speak.
Document hoax case.
Boo! Raids are terrible.
Totally violating my Fourth Amendment rights. And
nope. Went through the courts. Obtained it legally.
No president has ever been treated this way. Clinton.
Well, no president has ever stolen shit like that.
You know, the sock case. He had things in his socks. Nothing happened to him except a great
his feet?
Verdict. He's got a great verdict. We go by that verdict. The socks verdict. But no, he had it in his socks, you know.
You mean his cat?
That, right? And others took many, many documents.
Oh, my God. Did Bill Clinton smuggle documents out of the White House in his cat's ass? That's terrible.
They take them out of the White House. They took documents. I'm the only one that can't take anything. But maybe our country would be better off if I actually had the nuclear codes, JD, because our enemies would be afraid, unlike the way they are now. If I had the nuclear codes.
Well, as your definition of enemies is the concern, because to you, our enemies are all of the South American countries, Taiwan, Ukraine, and South Korea.
Bill Clinton, don't forget, he lost the nuclear codes twice. How do you explain that to the military? I've lost the military codes. What do you... He lost the military codes twice. I didn't. They're coming after me.
Says who?
Because I'm fighting for you. That's all it is. And if I wasn't leading in all these polls, I don't know, if you find those poll numbers, you could put them up. If you find them back there, you geniuses that do this stuff, put them up. Let me know when they're up. We'll talk about them. But we have poll numbers that are through the roof, and so do Republicans. This is going to be a wave. I think this is going to be a very big wave. I hope so. Starting right here. The radical left thinks by doing
it's not happening.
All these wicked and venomous things, they are
wicked and wickedy wicked.
Are making us weaker, but actually they are making us much, much stronger.
Are they? Because the numbers watching have just dropped off precipitously.
And more unified. That's what's happening. I believe, just like these rallies are bigger than they were before the election.
No.
Oh, there they are. Look, poll numbers. Okay, first one. Support 86, that's good. But look at the strong support. That's for Trump. Strong support. 64, right? My eyes are okay. Not great, but they're okay. Somewhat so. So look at those numbers. Okay, next slide. Go ahead. These guys are amazing. I didn't even know we'd be doing this. Look. Now there's the...
This is where they're like, he's going to do it. He's going to announce. These are matchups. It's got him and JFK Jr. So there's the poll tracker, 2024 National Republican primary poll. Trump 71%, DeSantis 10, Pence 7, Cheney 4, Cruz 2, Haley 2, Tim Scott 1%.
All right, so it's Trump, 71. Ron DeSantis, 10. That's okay. Mike Pence, 7. It has to be an incorrect poll. You know why? There's no way Cheney gets 4%. I don't believe. What a stiff. What a stiff. Wyoming did a great job. They got her out. The biggest defeat in the history of a congressperson. Nobody's ever lost by 40%. Nobody's ever lost by 40%. She
Yeah, they have.
did. So anyway, no, good people up there. They're all good people. Tim Scott is a great person. There are a lot of good people. Okay, what's the
Skipped right past Ted
next
Cruz.
one? Let's go. Do this fast. You all having a good time? Is there any time better than a Trump rally? Are you having a good time, please? Huh? Sure as hell, a lot of you. I wish someday the camera's going to show that. Oh, they will. If someday we have 200 people, they'll show that. But they never show it these crowds because they're fake and they're
RSBN rolls around and shows the crowd. Just do it.
dishonest, and they are truly the enemy of the people. I hate to say it, and they shouldn't be.
Yes, I agree. RSBN is the enemy of the people, and they shouldn't be.
So that's the Ohio. Did you ever hear of a state called Ohio?
Huh? Huh, you bastard, you? Huh? Did you ever heard of it? Ohio, huh? Right?
Remember when Biden
No.
came here?
It's nice to be in Delaware or fucking Florida
And
or
he
something.
said,
He just makes it up wherever the state is.
it's great to be with the people of Michigan. That did not play well. Remember? And when he went to Iowa and he said that he's in Idaho, right? Said, I love the potatoes. And they're saying, we don't do the potato thing here. Oh, what we go through. No, go back to
What we go through. You mean losing to him?
that one because I love it because it's Ohio. What did it say there? Let's see. Ohio general election. Trump, 55. Biden, 35. So it hasn't changed too much since the election. It's just gotten better. So that's plus 20. Are you hearing this fake news media? You faking son of a... Okay, let's go to the next one. Go to the next one. Nevada. Trump is up plus 12. And by the way, look at your...
Yeah, this is Rasmussen. This is Trump's favorite. Poll Tracker is tracking the most recent Republican ones that were all released, which are all heavily weighted his direction. So they just grab what you do is you flood it with bullshit, and then you stack the bullshit together and go, oh, look, the majority of these new ones say this.
Friends over there, you see that? Laxalt is up plus 5. Lombardo up against the governor. Sisolak, a real beauty he is, up 5. That's great. Trump up 12. Let's go to the next one. These are great polls. They just came out. General election, Trump plus 11 on Joe Biden. That's a lot. That's a lot.
Somebody else. Undecided.
That's North Carolina.
See?
They're saying there's no way it's only 11. I don't think so. I agree. And by the way, you know who's here from North Carolina?
Oh, dear.
A wonderful person named Lara. Lara, stand up, please. Will you go over and shake their hands, please, Lara? She's so popular. She's so popular. Ted Budd is doing great, but he said if she ever runs, I'm out of this race, okay? Ted Budd
No.
is doing great.
She was never going to win the primary.
Laura, you just made 20 new friends, okay? And let's see. So that was North Carolina. Go ahead, next. We're way up. What's next? Isn't that nice? Look at that one. Plus 13. Wow.
Wow.
You know what that is, don't you? You know what state that is? Look at that. Plus 13. Nobody wants to see that. Look at that. Kansas. Great place. Plus 13. What's next? These just came out.
So we're, North Carolina, Kansas. We're just looking at red states again?
Missouri, Trump, plus 16. I love Missouri. Joe Biden. So we're 53, Biden's 37. And Missouri, good guy running for the Senate there too, right? A good guy, Eric
Yeah.
Schmidt. Eric Schmidt is doing well. Next.
This is boring as shit.
Oklahoma, plus 29. I love Oklahoma. Wow.
Yeah, the states with the fewest people in them, he does very well.
Trump 59, Biden 30. And, you know, you almost wonder, who the hell are the 30%? Who are they? Nothing good is happening in our country.
Nothing. That's why it's too dangerous for even a rally.
And I don't know, they probably have some more, but they're all like this. It's incredible. It's incredible. And, you know, these are
Again, these are red states, largely, if not all.
misinformation people. All they do is misinformation and cheating on elections, okay? Because how do you win an election when you have defund the police?
You don't like oil and gas and guns.
No voter ID, high taxes, open borders, bad military, no money spent on military.
No money spent on military.
You know, I mean, how do you win elections with this
I don't know. How do you win elections sharing the screen with joefromtexas.com?
stuff? No more oil, high energy prices. The only way is you cheat, okay? You know, they want no voter ID. They don't want any country ID. In other words,
no country ID. Yeah. If you're from New York and your ID looks like that, I'm going to guess that you're just a McLeod cosplayer.
if you are from another country, you don't have to prove anything. You just go in and have fun, vote. Because
No, you don't. That's illegal. Don't listen to him.
that's how they win the election. That's the only way they win, because their
What the fuck? All right.
policy is so bad, they shouldn't even be in the elections, okay? To every citizen who's appalled by the radical left's lawlessness and corruption, this election is your chance to make your voice heard. This is a big deal. This is a big election. And early voting, which is a little concerning, because when you see early voting, I say to everybody, vote on election day, because it's harder for them to cheat. You know, it's much harder because they don't know how many votes they have to produce. They don't know how many ballots they have to print out. You know, you keep them in suspense, and then you say, nope, we beat you here. With your vote, you can reject left-wing tyranny and proudly declare the...
I'm worried that this is the end of this thing. Excuse me. I'm worried that he's getting near the part where they read the end of this thing, and he's gonna, like, loop back to the top like he does. America
must remain a free country. It's got to remain a free. This is not a free country. You could take the 5 worst presidents in American history and put them together, and they would have not done the damage that Joe Biden has done to our nation in less than 2 short years. Take a look.
Well, yeah, they wouldn't have done damage at all, really. I mean, he hasn't done any damage at all, so they would have had to, I guess, is 1,000 times 0 is 0?
Look at the screen.
Oh, we're going to fucking play a video.
How would you say your mental focus is?
Like when?
Wait.
So. Yeah.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Wow.
So, you know, when you see that, remember that we are dealing with people that are at the absolute top of their game. And we're dealing with...
He means Putin and Xi and those folks.
Nuclear weapons. Nuclear was never discussed, never supposed to be discussed.
Where the fuck was this asshole during the Cold War? I was in high school. It was on the news all the fucking time.
It's so devastating, you just can't talk about it. We're talking about it every day. And we have people that don't know what they're doing. It's a very sad thing, and I think it's...
So sad.
I personally believe it's the most dangerous time in the history of our country. We have people that don't have a clue, and we're dealing with weapons that are...
Yes, but even though the world's going to end and no one knows how to stop it except Donald Trump, and he couldn't possibly do anything about it for at least a couple of years, and the war is obviously going to continue on, buy this tumbler. You can put your genitals in it during a nuclear blast, and hopefully the radiation will just cook the thing around it so that you can repopulate the planet after you find some hedge clippers and get it off.
Hundreds of times more powerful than anything we ever had before. Under my leadership and with the help of Ohio energy workers, we had for the first time American energy independence, and we're going to energy dominance very shortly.
Yeah, no thanks to you.
And now Biden is begging, absolutely begging and pleading with OPEC. Did you see that with the fist bump?
Yeah, I saw you curtsy.
But instead of increasing production, they cut it. They cut production. Did the exact opposite of what he has. We gave you the largest tax cuts and regulation cuts in American history. You had your industry going better than it ever was before. By contrast, the radical Democrat Congress passed one of the largest tax hikes in American history. Unbelievable tax hike. Horrible tax hike.
Horrible.
Really going to be bad for our country.
He means the 15% tax on billion-dollar companies so that they're not paying zero anymore.
Under the Trump administration, we had the greatest economy in the history of the world with no inflation.
Also, the mic is very staticky. I'm going to laugh my ass off if it goes out.
Biden and the Democrat Congress created the worst inflation in 50 years.
Nope. COVID. Thank you very much.
9.1%. But you know it's much higher than that.
It has to be. Otherwise, people would be unable to afford to caravan around the fucking country free and clear and go to 100 fucking rallies.
It's not 9.1. I bet you it's double than that, probably more.
Double than that?
I rebuilt our...
He's got the best words. They may not always appear in the right order, but they're the best.
Military, including our nuclear capability and the creation of Space Force, first time in 79 years, Space Force. And you know you have a lot of Space Force workers right here, Ohio. A lot of work is done on Space Force in Ohio. They surrendered our strength.
It means right, Patterson.
And turned Afghanistan into the greatest humiliation our country has ever had. I believe it was the most humiliating thing that's ever happened to our country.
That's ridiculous.
And now we have a war between Russia and Ukraine with potentially hundreds of thousands of people dying. That would never have happened.
Right, because they would have it would have been a potential. It would have been 1 million.
If I was president, it would never have happened. Even the other side admits that would not have happened.
No, they just would have never been able to fight back.
The election was rigged and stolen, and now our country is being destroyed. I ran twice, I won twice, and I did much better the second time than I did the
It says like the same shit over and over again.
first.
Please play the stupid music so we can get on with this.
Getting millions and millions more votes in 2020 than I got in
Well, I think this is like the third time he said this.
2016. And likewise getting more votes than any sitting president in the history of our country.
Because there were more people and we had mail-in voting. So,
The first step to saving America is winning an epic victory for Republicans tomorrow. I don't have to say dates anymore. I don't have to say it's going to be in 3 weeks and 2 days. JD, all that work tomorrow, you're going to be so happy. I believe you're going to be happy. I believe it. Going to be your next senator from this great state of Ohio, J.D. Vance. We love you, J.D. I've gotten to know him really well. He's a great guy. He didn't used to like me too much 2-3 years ago. But he likes me now, and I like him. And I don't think it changes. I have some of them, and sometimes I won't let him back in. But I met with him, and I tell you what, he gets it. He's smart. He's tough. And he was right about a lot of things, J.D.
yes, that you could be the GOP's Hitler.
will fight for Ohio with every bone in his body.
And some of other people's.
As a native of your state who has personally witnessed the pillaging of Ohio jobs
J.D. Vance will fight for Ohio with Trump's bone in his body.
and the devastation of Ohio communities, J.D. knows how important it is to have leaders who put America first and put Ohio first. He
Oh yeah, like the dude who got that carrier plant that never happened.
wants to put America first. They think that's such a bad thing, so bad.
Oh my God, he's saying it again.
He's a former Marine and a Yale
He is a former Marine. Look at this shit. 241. Look at the number counting down on that right now. Look at that. Watching now. Look at this. It goes down for a bunch and then it stops and then it readjusts. And it's just cranking down.
Educated lawyer is a great student. I spoke to somebody that went to Yale with him. He said he was a great student, so I might as well tell you that. Some people said, oh, don't put it out. He's elite. Well, yeah, he's elite. He's elite in intelligence, and that's what we want, right? Don't we want that?
Yes. Everybody else who went to those schools is not elite in intelligence. They're just, what, legacy hires?
And he'll bring the toughness and intellectual firepower we need to champion our movement and our values in the U.S. Senate. He will fight for strong borders, fair trade, more Ohio jobs, and he will be tough as you can be on crime. JD will never be owned by the establishment. He won't be owned by me either, unfortunately. I'd love to own the guy, but I don't think he'll be there for me. But that's
super fucking weird.
Okay. You know what? I'm doing the right thing for the country. He's a very independent guy. And he'll be an independent senator who is loyal only to the people of Ohio. That's what he loves, the people of Ohio. He loves his.
Jesus Christ. They put that in there, and it's bothering Trump that he goes, he's not loyal to any party or any leader, and it annoys Trump that he's not a ring kisser.
State. When JD wins tomorrow night, you are going to hear the wailing and shrieking of the fake news all the way from New York to Washington, because the media will know that Ohio has just elected a truly MAGA all-star. Make America great
Nope.
again. He's an all-star. And he has been for a long time. We're actually saying the same thing, but we're saying it differently, don't you think?
Yeah, it's basically the same thing. I mean, you use different words and different ideas and different concepts and different principles and different ethics, but they're basically the same. They just, it's like, it's just translated, like if you translated something from Russian to English. It's the same thing, except one's just meaner.
When I really look back, we're saying the exact same thing, just a little.
You're saying the exact same thing, except he might get elected and I'm not going to.
A little bit differently. JD is running against a do-nothing, showboating, radical Democrat politician named Tim Ryan. I've watched him. He fought me on the wall. He fought me on everything. Tariffs on China. Did I hit China hard? We took in $430 billion from China. Not one other president took in 10 cents. Ryan pretends to be
Again, he doesn't even know how trade deficits
a
work.
moderate, pretends to be almost a Trump supporter, but he's voted with crazy Nancy Pelosi 100% of the time over the last 2 years.
That's emptying out. Yeah.
100%. And then he tries to say that he's with me. He's not with me.
He doesn't say he's with Trump.
He supported Joe Biden's war on American energy. He voted for a massive tax increase on Ohio workers and families. And he voted for
well, if those workers and families own and operate billion-dollar companies.
mass amnesty and free government health care for illegal aliens. He wanted them to come in. He wants the open borders, let them all come in from all over the world, even if they come from the prisons of these other places that are very tough places.
He's hoping for that, actually. I mean, Tim Ryan's a big fan of specific criminals. He's looking for some people who have a history with, grand larceny, whatever they call that in Honduras.
Tim Ryan declared that he is all for releasing criminals from prison and emptying out American jails, and he supports a.
Yeah. Not looking into people's cases or making sure that nonviolent criminals aren't in prison, so we're not wasting time holding them in jail for stuff, but just releasing just opening the doors. You know what I mean? Why not? It's kind of like an open borders policy, but for prisons.
Abolishing cash bail. That's the real Tim Ryan, by the way. That's not the Trump ally. Tim Ryan has also voted
Yeah, the language isn't helping you anymore.
repeatedly to continue Democrats' war on Ohio energy workers. He wants to stop energy, and you make a fortune with energy and a fortune in jobs.
You make a fortune in jobs. You do. Like selling those jobs that and buying and selling jobs. It's great. It's a big industry. There's a job mine in outside of Sandusky.
Taxes would double and triple if you ever did that. He voted to cancel the Keystone XL pipeline. How about that one?
You mean the Canadian shale oil pipeline?
I started it immediately, my first day in office, and they ended it as soon
So you didn't start
as they got there. He said that a plan to eliminate coal-fired power plants was amazing. He just loved it. He used the word amazing.
Yeah, I mean, it is better. And natural gas, There's not a lot of coal in Ohio, but there is a lot of natural gas.
And he said that he wants to get rid of all gas vehicles, which would decimate the Ohio auto industry. He wants to go to all electric, wonderful.
Why? Why wouldn't they just build the electric cars there?
Great for China, not good.
Sorry, are Ohioans incapable of building electric cars? Is that his argument?
For us, great for China. But just 24 hours from now, Tim Ryan is going to be out of a job. J.D. Vance is going to be on his way to the United States Senate. And J.D. is a really good
No, it's going to take a couple days to count the votes.
man. J.D., please come up.
It's great to have the president back in Ohio.
Former president.
Sir, thank you for being here. Look, the stakes are simple. The president said it well. We got to get out there and run up the score on these guys because we need to win, and we need to win big and take our country back. That's exactly what we're going to do. The simple thing.
Those folks are taking their country back. They're taking their country ass back home.
Thing here is we need senators who are fighters and senators who are doers.
No, you need legislators and capable ones at that. You don't fight in fucking in a democracy. You just fucking work it out.
No more talking about.
By the way, look at as soon as he stepped on stage. Look at this. 158. Look at that.
About big tech, no more talking about the border. We need to people who are going to fight for the issues and actually get something done for the people of Ohio. That's what I want to do. Let's get out to the polls tomorrow. Thank you, Gall.
Thank you, Gall. Thank you, Gay. Good. Bye. Thank you, Gall. It takes a lot of gall to be up there. The whole thing's very galling. Did he almost kiss him? No. Awkward.
Thank you, J.D. You're going to win big. You're going to send a signal to these people that are ruining our country. They're destroying our country. Tomorrow, you also need to get out and vote to re-elect Governor Mike DeWine and your Lieutenant Governor, John Husted. You got to do that. He's done a good job.
The boo. Yeah, not quite the response.
Done a good job. Mike and John have been an outstanding team who have fought tirelessly to bring jobs and factories back to Ohio. I worked with them on doing that.
And how'd that work out?
Including the $20 billion Intel plant that will create more than 20,000 Ohio jobs, and they cut taxes, slash regulation.
If I may. The Intel bill is the Intel plant is being built with funds and support that comes from the CHIPS Act, from the Biden administration. Today, President Joe Biden traveled to Columbus, Ohio to celebrate the groundbreaking of Intel's new semiconductor manufacturing plant. The company's expansion marks the first major investment in domestic microchip manufacturing directly linked to the passage of the CHIPS and Science Act, championed by Senator Maria Cantwell, Democrat of Washington, chair of the Senate Committee on Commerce, Science, and Transportation. Signed into law August 9th of this year.
And they delivered historic funding for support and for the police officers, and they've really done a job. Mike and John are running against a radical left lunatic who was a disaster as the mayor of Dayton. I got to know her when we had a terrible shooting here. Remember, I went to the hospital. I got to know her, and I said, she's not good. Nan Whaley. Well, it's not much of a race, I have to tell you. They're so far ahead. But I got to know her. She was terrible. Under her watch, Dayton, Ohio, had one of the highest murder rates in the entire country, yet she backed a budget to cancel the police academy as a commissioner. She voted to defund the police. Oh, that's wonderful. That's what we need in Dayton, where crime is setting records. Let's defund the police, right? She's a high tax, high regulation, far left liberal who would demolish your economy.
Blah, blah, blah.
In a matter of months, I think it would be very quick, and she would totally betray the values of the people of Ohio, who have the finest values you can have. Ohio needs to get up and just vote for these.
Needs to get Opie. Vote Opie and Anthony. No, vote Opie from Mayberry.
Two
Ohio.
Great people, Mike DeWine and John Husted. By the way, are they here? I think so. Come on up. Well, this is a great honor.
Come on up. This is great.
You know, I gave my endorsement a long time ago.
Yeah.
But, oh, that's great. That's really nice. Hi, John.
Yeah, hi. Come on up. Oh, great. Jesus Christ. Me, say something.
Mr. President, thank you very
Listen to the booze.
much. You know, in Ohio, Mr. President, we fund the police. We've done a great job doing that. We've cut our taxes. We're moving.
They're booing the fuck out of this dude. And look at the numbers on the watch time. 86,000. He's lost 200,000 fucking viewers in the last 20 minutes.
Ohio forward. And thank you for being here to endorse J.D. Vance. J.D. is going to do
this might be because I'm behind, too.
an absolute phenomenal job.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you.
Wow, you're great. I don't want to say anything. They'll boo me.
Well, that was a very nice welcome, but he's up by 25 points or something, and they should be. They should be. Thank you.
Nice welcome. Your people booed him.
Thank you very much, fellas.
Fellas. Thanks, folks. By the way, you're watching Hal Sparks Mega Worldwide. Thanks for being here. Like and subscribe. Give a thumbs up. Support the show in any way that you can. Patreon.com/Hal Sparks. Infotainmentwars.com. Don't forget to subscribe. And, of course, if you're on Facebook, the Hal Sparks page is a way you can go there. You can subscribe there and all that kind of stuff. And I'm trying to say all the shit, and we're back to our show. Okay, here we go.
Thank you very much. In addition to re-electing Mike
Whoops. Thank you for booing him.
and John, we need everyone to get out and vote for the Republican candidates for Ohio's Supreme Court: Sharon Kennedy, Pat Fisher, Pat DeWine.
What? Fucking governor's got a relative running for the Supreme Court? That seems great.
And we're really great job. State Treasurer Robert, a man that I love. I tell you, I'm not a big lover of men.
Unless they're foreign dictators.
But this guy,
That's not what we heard.
I love. You know, he was one of the best wrestlers in the country. His sons are both All-Americans. And I spoke to his one
Oh, Jim Jordan.
boy is actually a larger person than him. I think like a 188 or something. And he's All-American. I said, well, would you say you were better than your father? He said, sir, I wasn't even close. And he meant it, too. He meant it.
That's fucking terrible. I hope one day that my son can say that he is better than me in every area he wants to be. That is what I wish for my child. What kind of ego bullshit is this? Did someone tell Trump in Ohio because Trump forgot it's voting season to be slightly friendly? Yes.
But he is a fighter.
This is much weirder than usual.
Just like he was as a great wrestler, virtually undefeated. And he was the NCAA champion.
And he also is known for looking the other way when sexual assault happens to minors.
Of the country. You know, I dealt with him for a long time, and I'd look at that face. And I said, you know, those ears are a little moved. There's a little action going on with those ears. And I said, Jim Jordan, did you ever wrestle? Yeah, I did, actually. And then I looked at his record, like virtually undefeated. He was the best in the whole country, best wrestler. But I looked at it, and I looked at those ears. I shouldn't say this because I've never told this. I said, that guy had some things going on with the fighting stuff. But he is such
What do you think he has, fucking cauliflower ear from boxing? What the fuck?
a warrior and such an incredible guy. Is he here?
That he's such a warrior, you just look right past his fucked up ears.
Is he here? Well, come here. Come here. I love this guy.
Of course he's there. Where the fuck? You think he's, what do you think he's doing? Drafting a bill?
Come here, Jim. Say something.
Say something with your big fucked up ears. Holy shit. It's cold. He's wearing a jacket.
Well, they've heard from me, Mr. President, but they want you back here. I'll just say this. My favorite scripture verse is 2 Timothy 4:7. It says,
Yeah, Trump doesn't even know Timothy is in the Bible.
fight the good fight, finish the course, keep the faith. And I tell folks...
Finish the course? It's a new international version.
I tell folks that's a verse for our country. Fight, finish, keep. Words of action, not timid words, not sissy words, words that...
Yes, there are no sissies in the Bible. Just a guy with long hair walking around in a dress with 12 other dudes.
That we associate with America, and words that we associate with the best president we've ever had, President Trump. God bless you all.
It's great, isn't it great? Wow. But was I right about the fucked up ears, right? Look at the fucked up.
Thank you, Jim, very much. And a friend of Jim's and a friend of all of us, Warren Davidson. Warren, thank you very much. Good job you're doing. Mike Carey, and a person who, Mike, where's Mike? Hi, Mike. Great. Good job, Mike. Warrior. Another warrior, a person who's very shy, very timid. We're trying to get her to get a little tougher. Marjorie.
By the way, hold on one second. I just want to make sure that he likes me. Is he going to say something? Hold on.
Taylor Green. She's terrific.
She's great. I heard
She
she's
did
great.
a commercial. Yes, yes, yes. Somebody can break into my house. We'll treat him very nicely. But first he's got to go through this. And I said, that's a hell of a commercial. But she's great, and she's done a tremendous job, and
That's
she's
tremendous.
highly respected, and she just
That's
won
okay.
with almost like everybody voted for her. She's great. Thank you very much, Marjorie. It's an honor to have you.
So good. Thanks, Marge.
Congressional candidates. Oh, I love this guy, Max Miller. Where's Max?
I don't know. I heard he's not going to be there. Is he still there?
I'll tell
Do we know?
you, the job he's done.
Max there?
Right? And he was with me for 4 years. I know him maybe almost as well as that guy right there, Jim.
Who is that guy?
But Max is going to be a great
Max.
congressman, and
My name is Max. Sorry, I'm just being stupid. That's what happens when I get fucking bored. The same shit over and over again. Yeah, people. The same stupid shit. Just jump, like he's introducing the people.
tremendous. That's all I have to hear. What the hell? Greatest in history.
Mike
As
Lindell.
Republicans take back Congress this week, we will fight for the people of Ohio, and we will win for the people of Ohio. One of the first things we must do is stand up for, can you believe this, parental rights? Who ever thought?
Same shit.
Can you believe? I think I'm called a politician. I hate to call myself a politician, but a politician
Well, you sure is not a fucking businessman anymore. Jesus.
would have to stick up for parental rights. The parents have their rights. But now we have to fight because the radical left lunatics want to take parents' rights away from them. But we won't let that happen. We will get critical race theory out of our schools, out of our military, and out of every part of our federal, state, and local government.
By the way, this talking point died like 4 months ago.
And at long last, every parent in America must be empowered to opt out of the forced indoctrination in the classroom and send their child to the public, private, charter, religious, or homeschool.
Yeah, by the way, the CRT and the trans stuff was always about eliminating public schools. It was always a big head fake.
Of their choice. We will also If you don't mind, it's politically incorrect, they tell me, but I'm okay with it. We will keep men like Jim Jordan out of women's sports. Okay? I want to find a woman
Oh, God.
that can beat Jim. I'd pay a lot to watch it. I'd pay a lot of money to watch.
Yeah, I saw the, whatever, Killer Jenny or whatever that, Killer Kelly, the weightlifter woman who used to wrestle dudes who shot her husband because he was beating her. I watched that, Summer and I watched that day before yesterday and then into today because it was like a couple episodes. Yeah, Trump would totally watch that.
Watch that. No teacher should ever be allowed to teach transgender to our children.
Yes, they're not being taught transgender.
Without parental consent. I mean, can you imagine they actually do it?
Can you actually imagine they don't teach transgender to anyone?
Without parental consent. The country's going crazy. Another one of our highest priorities under a
is a strong Iraqi dinar.
Republican Congress
Is to make Q the most important letter in the
will be
alphabet.
to stop
Stop adrenochrome from being served in cafeterias all over Washington, D.C.
left-wing censorship and to restore free speech in America. And go out and sign up for Truth Social. It's great. It's doing
No, it isn't.
fantastically. It's better than Twitter. It's better than all of them. Just go out and get it. It's hot as a pistol. And everywhere the Republican Party has the chance, we must pay.
It's doing terrific. I mean, you can't go wrong. It's the place you've always dreamed to go. Twitter's nothing. It's a wreck. You really want to hang out at Truth Social. As a matter of fact, I have an account there. If you're over there and you want to fuck with the place, let me know.
Critical rate. We have to do this.
Critical rake theory. It's something yard workers go after.
Election integrity reforms, including universal voter ID, citizenship confirmation. You know, they're fighting us on citizenship confirmation.
No, they aren't.
Can you believe it?
No.
Now, the only reason somebody wouldn't want to do that, think of it, is
because Latinos are leaning Republican, and you want to create the illusion that if anybody is here that's Hispanic, they came here legally. If they're in the country, they must have gotten in here legally, and therefore they can vote for Republicans.
they have to cheat. Okay? Common thing. Who wouldn't want that? We don't want to learn where you come from. What country do you come from? You're not allowed to ask a question like that as they go to vote for your local representative. No more fake.
By the way, he's talking about letting legal permanent residents and people with visas and green cards vote in local elections in New York City.
Drop boxes, JD. No private money pouring into local election offices.
You mean Zuckerberg?
And ultimately, we need same-day voting with only paper ballots and voter ID. And you say...
And you're not having any of that tomorrow. So I guess this one's a wash.
A lot of money on the machines. You're going to save a lot of money on the machine.
But it'll cost you in democracy.
No, think of it. Pennsylvania, 3-4 days. They're going to be 3-4 days late. What a joke. What a joke. There's something going on.
Yes, mail-in votes and in-person votes. And they have a rule about not counting them until either after midnight or the next day in some areas.
We're just hours away from the most important midterm election in American history, and we need a landslide.
By the way, who hasn't heard that about every fucking election? It's kind of like, it's like the old phrase, like the most liberal senator in American history. Remember that shit? Like, this person is the most liberal, far left person you've ever, and it was like, John Kerry is the most far left, and you're like, okay, now you're just fucking saying it about anybody.
It's so big that the radical left cannot rig it or cannot steal it. Everybody needs to get out and vote, and if you care about election integrity, volunteer as an election worker, a poll watcher, a poll challenger.
It's too late, fuckhead.
That's what you have.
They fill those posts early. And this is also where they send people like the day up and they're like, I'm here to watch the polls. Like, yeah, you have to fill that shit out. We don't know who the fuck you are.
To do because they do it and they do it in a very rough manner.
We do it. We're very naughty. A lot of hair pulling, a lot of gripping you tight.
But we're going to swamp them. This
Are you?
is the year we're going to take back the House. We're going to take back the Senate. And we're going to take back America. And in 2024, most importantly, we are going to take back our magnificent White House.
Yeah, they're like, announce! Everybody thinks he's going to announce. Not going to happen. Nope.
We'll take it back.
And the kids are over on the side going, don't say it.
Together we will fight for more jobs for Ohio families, fair
Yeah, same shit.
trade for Ohio workers,
He's not taking the bait.
and more Ohio factories forging more products stamped with Uncle Sam, the beautiful phrase, made in the USA, Uncle Sam. We will
Uncle Sam.
shut down Biden's border disaster, reinstitute our strong Remain in Mexico policy, strengthen the patriots, and they are indeed patriots of ICE and Border Patrol, and we will again end catch and release. We will end chain migration. We will end the visa lottery, and we will end illegal immigration in our country once and for all. We want people to come in, but they have to come in legally. We will stop the crime wave in Democrat-run cities. We will give our police the power they need and the respect that they deserve. And we will not take legal protection away from our police. They want to take protection so that if somebody sues a police person
He means qualified immunity, but he doesn't remember the phrase.
for doing their job, they have to go out and hire their own lawyer. That's not a good idea. We will restore law and order in America. We will hold.
By the way, for the record, that has gone nowhere. It will go nowhere. Just for the record. Like, it's just a bunch of shit. It's a talking point.
China accountable for unleashing the virus upon the world. $65 trillion in damage. They can't pay that much, but something's going to happen.
Yeah, like, they got to at least throw in for tip or something.
We will abolish all COVID mandates and lockdowns.
Yeah, because we still have those.
And rehire every patriot who was fired from the military with an apology and full back pay.
Yeah.
And we will defend our Constitution. We will defend the Second Amendment, and we will
Constitution.
proudly uphold the Judeo-Christian values and principles of our nation's
Name one.
founding. We will restore patriotic education to our schools, and we will teach our children to love their country,
And always rub their dick on our great American flag.
honor our history, and to always respect our great American
Respect it. So don't rub your dick on it. Okay, good. Thanks for important clarification. Thanks, Chief.
flag. Always respect our flag. In conclusion,
Oh, thank God.
our
Here comes the music.
MAGA movement, Make America Great Again,
Magoo! Make America great over and over. Every time we do it, they fuck it up and we have to rebuild it. It's like an anthill.
is by far the greatest political movement in the history of our country.
Yeah, if you don't count all the other ones.
They never
I mean, it's no Jonestown or Manson family, but it's close.
challenged that. They've never
Just because it's ridiculous. You know what I mean? It's like challenging someone like, I can jump to the moon. What do you want me to say? You're fucking stupid?
challenged it. It's an amazing thing. They wouldn't challenge it. If
I think it's absurd. Is that a challenge? I wouldn't challenge it. I would just laugh at it and its absurdity.
said anything slightly wrong, they challenge, but they can't challenge that.
No, they just gave up on your bullshit a long time ago. They don't even bother to humor you at this point. By the way, guys, thanks for hanging in tonight. We haven't done a full rally all the way through in a while, so whew.
Together, we are standing up against some of the most menacing forces, entrenched interests, and vicious opponents our people have ever seen.
Aw, thanks. I thought you hadn't even noticed, and here I am doing my level best, but I was like, they don't even, they do not notice little old me. I like, oh, tell me all about it. Tell me all about it. I'm so bored with this speech again.
Despite great outside dangers, our biggest threat.
Oh no, don't go outside. Stay inside and the basement and just stay on Twitter where it's safe.
Remains the sick, sinister, and evil people.
Yes, they're everywhere. I don't even go to the bus stop.
From within our country. You know who I'm talking about.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Are you talking about Rick Springfield? And you're talking about the lunch lady in my second grade, and you're talking about, whatever the golden girl that they tried to replace B. Arthur with, which was total bullshit.
But you see him all the time.
I do. I watch them on my Roku.
But no matter how big or powerful the corrupt radical left Democrats that we are fighting against may be.
Oh yeah, they can't all lift me out, big muscle man.
You must never forget.
I will never forget. What I forgot? What was I supposed to say? I forgot. I don't remember.
This nation does not belong to them.
No, it does not belong to. Well, they're Americans. Some of them. It doesn't belong to the ones that aren't Americans, I suppose. Okay, go ahead.
This nation belongs to you. That's
you. You got what I need. It's like that kind of belong to you.
That's who it belongs to.
That's who it belongs to you. It belongs to the city. You belong to America. I love Miami Vice, but I thought they jumped the shark like in the 8th season, and it didn't even have an episode with a shark in it.
This is your home.
Yes, it is. That's true.
This is your heritage.
Well, I'm not really sure. I got 23andMe done, but I kind of call bullshit.
And our American liberty is your God-given right.
Yes, but it's protected by the rule of law, thank God.
From Akron
Not Akron. Oh.
to Toledo.
I had Akron on my Toledo, but I used that stuff that Brittany was selling for a while. I sprayed that on it and it went away.
From Cleveland to Columbus.
I've been from Cleveland to Columbus. It's a short drive, but it's very scenic.
From Youngstown to Dayton.
That one I wouldn't do. I wouldn't do that drive at all. That's kind of scary.
You inherit the legacy of generations of Americans.
Yes, the great Midwestern heritage of people who arrived on the East Coast and in the adventurous spirit of the Pilgrims who headed west to see what the great forests and to find the other end of the continent, and the great people of Ohio who gave up and said, fuck it, you go ahead.
Who risked their everything.
Well, if you're not going to risk your everything, do you really risk anything?
For the beloved country that they love so much.
Yes, the great pioneers who risked slamming their dick in a car door. It could happen.
Ohio is the state that gave us American heroes, icons, and legends with names like Neil Armstrong.
And 3 Doors Down.
Annie Oakley.
She's the woman who made all that money in sunglasses.
And the great general and president, Ulysses S. Grant.
Ulysses. I'm not familiar with him. I know Ulysses S. Grant, but I don't know the Ulysses Sissy. The Ulysses Sissy S. Grant Sissy.
And this is the state that gave us
Yes, and he did say, some people are asking, he did say Johio.
legions of farmers, soldiers, steelworkers, and skilled craftsmen.
Why are they not playing the magic music right now? I feel like I'm supposed to be feeling patriotic emotions, but I'm not feeling any patriotic emotions at all right now. I feel kind of bored.
Who built this country with the sweat of their brows and the...
Oh, that's why everything's so wet. What's wrong with this road? It's all slippery and gross. It's all built with brow sweat. My house fell over. It was built with brow sweat. Blech.
the strength of their spines, and they
Ew. Is that what I thought they were using wooden beams.
Suffered so greatly. But they also gave us something very, very special.
Yes, they did. The goo of their loins.
the goodness of their souls.
I was close. I was so close. I was gonna. It was that. It was like goo of their loins or goodness of their souls. Something like that.
Your Ohio ancestors fought the battle.
I'm actually from West Virginia. We moved here. We moved here, and then we were here for a couple of years, and we moved back, and then we came here again. But we're only just visiting, quite frankly. And we're all in the front row. We're from all over.
They broke the barriers. They conquered the unknown dangers. They pushed into uncharted frontiers.
Yes, and with no lube.
And they made America into the greatest nation in the history of the world.
Well, but the Midwestern part, which is not really, I'm not saying it's not got its good points, but it's not exactly like, it's not where like the Manhattan Project or like the iPhone was invented. Oh God, he's going to start singing. It's karaoke time. We go on, we go on. Oh, he forgot what he was going to say. You got to hurry up and start talking. You're going to run out of music. Did somebody stop the teleprompter? Roll the teleprompter. He's got singing to do.
But now, we are a nation in decline. We are a failing nation.
We're a failing nation.
We are a nation that has the highest inflation in 50 years.
In 50 fucking years.
And where the stock market finished the worst first half of the year.
But the best second half of the year, so it kind of worked out, but it's okay. But you're absolutely right, oh no.
Since 1872.
1872, I didn't even know there was a stock market back then. It's kind of funny how many stocks were there, like 12.
Likewise, we are a nation that has the highest energy costs in its history.
Highest energy costs in it because we're driving a lot more. Obviously, there wasn't a lot of car costs in the mid-20s.
We are no longer energy independent or
we're not energy. Well, we are technically, but not in a fun way.
Energy dominant.
We're energy dominant. You take it and you like our energy.
As we were just 2 short years ago.
Just 2 short years ago, when we lived inside and no one was going anywhere because of COVID, and hundreds of thousands of Americans were dying.
We are a nation that is begging Venezuela, Saudi Arabia,
begging for oil and gas. That was free.
Many others for oil.
Many others, like I don't remember the name of those places, but I'm sure they're awful places with lots of mean people who run the place.
Please, please, please help us.
Please, please, please help us. Please. Well, I mean, just a little bit. Just add a little. Okay.
Joe Biden says.
Please, please, Joe Biden says, please help us.
As we have more liquid gold right under our feet than
and yet we don't have a straw.
Any other country.
Except Venezuela and Saudi Arabia and probably Russia and large parts in the Middle East and Qatar.
Anywhere in the world.
Anywhere in the world except this aforementioned places that I brought up.
We are a nation that is
sucking ass right now.
Consumed by the radical left's Green New Deal.
The Green.
Yet everyone knows.
If what we need is a blue New Deal or a slightly beige or perhaps I like a burnt orange kind of a New Deal would be very cool and would look very nice in the living room if you do that like splotch painting.
Knows that the Green New Deal.
Oh, the Green New Deal.
Will lead to our total destruction.
The green total destruction.
We are a nation whose leaders are demanding electric cars.
All electric cars, and if you don't drive one, fuck you. It's gonna be like the Rush song Red Barchetta, but without cartoons.
Even though they can't go far.
They cannot go far, just about 400 miles, obviously, and it depends on how much you have to pay for the charge, and if you want to stop for like 20 minutes and get repeated charge, who knows?
Cost too much.
They cost too much! Unlike cars that were... Hi, how you doing? Hello. I'm in the middle of something, as you can see. There's a song at the end of it. I scared someone. I scared a cat. And then the cats came down because they thought when I was singing I was sick. And now my girlfriend thinks I'm mentally ill. She might be right. I'll be with you in a little bit. We're almost done. Love you. I'm in so much trouble right now. Shut the door. Get out of here. I'm very self-conscious.
And whose batteries are produced in China with...
All the batteries which are made actually in Tennessee and probably mostly in Ohio. They just opened a big plant, but don't bring that up. It's bad for business.
Materials only available in China.
Only available in China. They're made completely out of noodles.
When an unlimited amount of gasoline is available
well, it's kind of limited, I will say.
Expensively in the United States, but it is not available in China.
No, you can't get oil and gas from China because they need our oil and gas. We're just selling to the thing.
We are a nation that ended oil exploration and production in the...
All oil exploration, which is spelled with an X, but sometimes it sounds like exploration.
United States, just as the price of oil reached an all-time high.
What are the fucking odds?
What other country would do such a thing?
Only a country that wants to raise the price of oil and gas. That makes a lot of oil and gas and is actually making a lot of money from the oil and gas that is in the market.
We are a nation that surrendered in Afghanistan.
Magoo!
Leaving behind dead soldiers.
Well, you wouldn't leave, we didn't actually leave them behind. We took them with us.
American citizens.
Well, some of those people were at dual citizenship and were big in the opium trade.
And $85 billion worth of the finest military equipment
the course of 20
anywhere
years
in the
trade, and basically a lot of that shit was destroyed.
World. We are a nation that allowed Russia to devastate a country, Ukraine, killing
like a bunch of dicks.
Hundreds of thousands of people.
Well, not so far, but they're definitely trying, and if you would have been in power, they would have definitely made that happen.
And it will only get worse.
It will only get worse after it gets better.
It would never have happened with me as your commander-in-chief.
No, because they would have just won in a couple of days. The Russians would have just rolled into Kiev, and by the time we got on our feet, it would have been over.
And for 4 straight years...
straight is a matter of opinion. Obviously, some of the things were a little weird. That whole thing with Ronnie Jackson looking at your butt was kind of... Never mind, I'm not here to yuck your yuck.
It didn't happen. And China, with Taiwan, is next. We are a nation that has weaponized its law enforcement against opposing political parties.
So both, I guess, the Democrats and the Republicans are both fighting each other using the law somehow.
Like never before.
Well, like sometime before.
We've got a Federal Bureau of Investigation,
which is responsible for catching most of the money launderers and the serial killers in the fucking country. And if they shut down for even a day, there'd be like tens of thousands of more dead people in a year than there were before. But fuck them because they're going after Trump.
That won't allow bad election-changing facts to be presented to the public, and which offers $1 million to a writer of fiction about
well, it was a good book. Are you talking about J.K. Rowling? I don't know.
Donald Trump to lie and say it was fact, and pays a man $200,000 to get Trump.
And that really hurts because Trump is broke as fuck right now.
Go out and get Trump. Where Hunter Biden's laptop from hell
that doesn't exist
was Russian disinformation, and the FBI,
which is not true because it doesn't actually exist.
FBI knew it wasn't, and a Department of Justice that refuses to investigate egregious acts of voting irregularities and fraud. And we have a man who is the worst president in the history of our country, who is cognitively impaired, in no condition to lead, and is now casually talking about nuclear war with Russia.
Just like mentioning it over eggs.
Which would be World War III and far more
World War 4.5 beta.
devastating than any of the previous world wars.
Of most, like, considering, like, way worse than, like, the Ottoman Empire falling.
Because of the weaponry that no one can ever even imagine or think about.
I don't even know what you're talking about because I can't even imagine or think about it at all.
It is so powerful.
It's just too powerful. I can't even fucking picture it in my head, even though I've seen, like, Terminator, like, 1,600 times. I saw Terminator 2 so much I've got a tramp stamp of John Connor's motorcycle on my... Never mind.
We are a nation that no longer has a free press.
We don't. It costs, like... Newspapers actually cost money now.
Fake news is all you get.
It's all you get. This is what you want. This is what you get. This is what you want. This is what you fucking get.
And they are indeed the enemy of the people.
The enemy of the people. I think it's a misprint. It's supposed to say the enemy of the peephole.
We are a nation where free speech is no longer allowed.
No, you can't do it. You certainly can't stand up in front of a bunch of people with a microphone and a teleprompter and music playing in the background in front of your stupid fucking plane and say whatever the shit you want. You'll get arrested in like 2 fucking seconds.
Where crime is rampant and...
It is. I've been shot 3 times during this show.
Out of control.
It is out of control. We can't even... Normally crime is in control.
Like never before.
Well, maybe the 70s, 90s, maybe parts of the 80s. Obviously, sections of the 60s, it was a lot.
And where more people died of COVID in 2021 than in 2020.
Well, that's because it was a whole year with COVID and it started about March.
We are a nation that is allowing Iran to build a massive nuclear weapon.
A nuclear weapon. It's way worse. They're way more dangerous.
And China to use the trillions and trillions of dollars that is...
Trillions. Don't stop there. Trillions and trillions and trillions.
Taken from us to build a military to rival our own.
Well, yeah, but it's mostly cardboard.
And just 2 years ago, we had Iran, China, Russia.
Right in the middle of our taint.
And North Korea in check.
Yes, you had to pick up the check, but yeah.
They weren't going to do a thing against...
They weren't going to do a thing...
us.
To any of us.
And everyone knows it.
And everyone knows it.
They respected us more than they ever respected us.
They don't really respect anybody, but they did us for a little while because, the reach around was particularly smooth.
Perhaps most importantly, we're a nation.
Most importantly, we're a nation
that no longer is respected.
We're respected.
Listened to
and
anywhere around the world.
Anywhere.
We are a nation.
No one will even pick up the fucking phone anymore.
That in many ways has become a joke.
Terrible. A joke.
We are a nation.
Knock, knock, who's there? Oswald. Oswald who? Oswald, my bubble gum.
That is hostile to liberty.
And pillows.
Freedom and faith.
Why is a grown man in his pajamas standing right next to you holding a pillow with no case?
And we are a nation whose economy is collapsing into a cesspool of ruin.
Why does that sound kind of delicious? I haven't eaten today.
Whose supply chain is broken.
Oh dear, the broken supply chain.
Whose stores are not stocked. Whose deliveries are not coming.
This is like the worst Dr. Seuss book ever.
And whose educational system is ranked at the very bottom of every single list.
Every single list.
We are a nation where large...
But considering that list is made by people who don't go to school, I don't take much stock
Acts of sadistic criminals and thieves are allowed to go into stores and openly rob them, beat up the workers, and kill the customers, leave with armloads of goods, but with no retribution.
None what's no retribution. Why aren't we launching a missile strike on kleptomaniacs?
Where the authority of our great police has been taken.
It's been taken away. I'm starting to think this is the whole fucking speech all over just with background fucking music.
Where their families and pensions have been threatened and their lives would be destroyed for the mere mention of the words law enforcement.
The world would be destroyed if you just say law enforcement. They just kind of vanish. It's like Rumple fucking Stillskin.
We are a nation where the people are allowed to murder, kill, rob, and rape innocent victims, and they
but not the guilty victims. Those people always get away.
Have no cash bail.
No cash bail.
And they're back on the streets, allowed to do it again.
And they even are given free luggage.
In a matter of hours.
Look at these guys. They look like monsters.
We are a nation where fentanyl and all other forms of illegal drugs are...
All of them? Oh, my God.
...are easier to get than formula for our beautiful little babies.
I'm going to have to check that one. I was just at the grocery store, and they had that on the shelves, and they said fentanyl was on back order, and then they called the police officer.
A nation whose once revered airports are dirty.
Yes, they're the passports now.
Crowded.
Terrible.
A mess.
Oh, they're awful. It's gross. Have you been in one lately? I mean, except the new Long Beach one, which is kind of sweet.
And unsightly.
Unsightly places like you'd fucking know because you don't fly commercial.
Horrible mess.
Horrible, messy, gross, and public people taking their fucking shoes off. It's nasty.
You sit and wait for hours and then are notified that the plane won't leave.
No, it won't leave. Look, I know the plane is broken, but let it take off anyway.
And they have no idea when it will.
No one knows how the plane even fucking works anymore.
Where ticket prices have tripled. They
even quintuple-dupled.
Don't have the pilots to fly the planes.
No, so they just pick some dude out of coach and say, here, yank on this.
They don't seek qualified air traffic controllers.
No, they want the shittiest ones they can find.
And they just don't know what the hell they're doing.
Yeah, this has got to be in the teleprompter. It's got to be. This has, there's no way he's just making this up.
We are a nation that has lost its confidence, its will.
Well, it happens to any man at your age. I mean, you can kind of expect a certain level of difficulty. Things just aren't, gonna excite you the way they used to. It's just maybe just overdone it a little.
Power and its strength. And we are a nation that has just plain...
I forgot. I should be swaying like the people back there. When do I put my finger up? Because it's currently occupied.
Lost its way.
I've lost
but we are
my
a
way.
nation.
How the fuck do you think I ended up in Zackajackapakasaki, Ohio?
That is not going to allow this horror to continue.
The horror.
Continue. 2 years ago, we were a great nation.
We were so awesome 2 years ago, except all the death and everybody staying home and the masks and people not being vaccinated and businesses being closed. But everything else, all things considered, didn't suck too bad.
We will be a great nation again.
It's gonna be so awesome. Magoo! Magoo! This is the announcement. Here it comes. Here it comes. Big wind up. This is it. Hang on, everybody. Here it comes. That's so good. Say it. Say it. Say it. Say it. Say it.
But not to detract.
Never to detract. What the fuck's he gonna say now? Just announce. Just announce.
From tomorrow's very important, even critical election.
No, he would never do that to just draw attention to himself.
And I would say, in the strongest way,
in the strongest way, this is the day where we can't go astray. And this is a little bit not exactly what I wanted to.
It's a country-saving election.
A country-saving election. You'll save 45% if you use the MyPillow code, but check out at the election.
Specifically including
Yes.
the election of all the people that I'm going to name.
That's right. Name all those people using the magic music.
I'm going to be making a very big announcement on Tuesday, November 15th at Mar-a-Lago in Palm Beach, Florida.
Oh, it's gonna happen. He's gonna announce that he's too ill to serve. Oh, he's going to testify in front of January 6th committee without a lawyer and never plead the fifth.
We want nothing to detract from the importance of tomorrow.
No, but it's nice that you drop something so everybody will fucking talk about that tomorrow.
You understand that,
Instead of
JD?
he's not in the lyrics of the song.
So I'm going to go over a list of people, and I think you'll find it really inspiring, because they're very inspiring people. So
I don't know why. Why are you reading a list of names? It's supposed to be you've already talked about everybody. You told everybody who the vote is for. This is just really, the whole thing is very disappointing.
we must first elect J.D. Vance for the Senate in Ohio.
Okay, no offense, but
And Joe Lombardo and Ron John in Alabama. John Bozeman in Arkansas. Jerry Moran in Kentucky. Senator in Missouri. James Lankford for Senate in South Cleveland. Governor of South. Ashley Moody and Henry Margaret's like one had challenged. We will never give in.
okay.
Fought before.
Yes, you must fight like you've never fought before, because the best fighters are the people who've never actually fought.
There is no mountain we cannot climb. There is.
Well, I think I gotta be honest. I think if you were heading up Mount Rainier, or even like any major, even a ramp would make you winded.
There's no summit we cannot reach.
By the way, I can't, like, my face hurts.
There is no challenge we cannot meet. There is no
There's a bunch of them. I mean, winning the 2020 election seemed to flummox you.
victory we cannot have. We will not bend.
Well, of course not. You can't even touch your fucking toes.
We will not break.
Well, if you try to touch your toes, maybe.
We will not yield.
Well, you don't even drive. It's not immaterial. Like, whoever's driving they recognize how traffic works.
We will never give in. We will never give up.
You'll never give to charity.
And we will never, ever, ever back down.
Well, of course not. You'll trip.
As long as we are confident, united, and loyal to the cause.
So, never.
The tyrants we are fighting do not stand even a chance.
Even a chance.
Because we are Americans.
Oh, all right. Important to make that clarification at this point in the speech.
And Americans kneel to God and to God alone.
Yeah, but you do it in big groups so everybody can see you do it.
The silent majority is back and stronger than ever before. We will take our country back. My fellow citizens, this incredible journey we are on together has only just begun.
It's only just begun.
And it is time to start talking about greatness, 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 greatness again.
Yeah, just say the word greatness. You don't actually have to don't address greatness as an idea or apply it to anything. Just say it. I mean, it works. It's like a magic word. Just say it, and suddenly your buildings are worth a lot more than people say they are.
For our country, we are one movement, one people, one family, and one glorious nation under God. So with the help of everyone here tonight,
and a couple of people who missed,
and citizens
who left early,
all across our land, we will make America powerful again. We will make America wealthy again. We will make America strong again. We will make America proud again. We will.
I'm so like, guys, I'm like crying. This is so beautiful. This is amazing, okay? It's amazing. You guys even know, okay? This is amazing. Like, he's doing this in fucking Ohio, okay?
We'll make America safe again. And we will make America great again. Thank you, Ohio. Thank you. God bless you. Thank you. JD, go get him. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, my God. Oh, fucking painful. Look at everybody bailing out of there as soon as he's done. Voop. Thank you. Look at you guys. Hey, thank you, front row. Just clap, 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 clap. Where am I supposed to go? Do I go, hello, how are you? Notice how nobody ever, like, he's pointing at nobody who's nobody there. Well, who's he talking to? Hey, he's doing this kind of, he's doing the elliptical right now. I don't know what the fuck that dance is. That's the elliptical where it's the only exercise he ever gets. Clap, 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 clap. Anybody want to jerk off right on my tie? Look at that. I'm moving out of there. Melania's not here. I'm going to fuck these chicks from North Carolina. Hey, boogie, boogie. Squirt, squirt, squirt. Anybody want to? I'm doing the hoodie string. That's the name of that one. Just pulling the hoodie string. That's the dance. Clap, clap, clap. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Okay. Bye. Everybody's bailing the fuck out of there. Bye. This is great. Say, hey, you, what's going on? Clap. Hey, look at you. It's good. It's a thing. Clap, clap. Bye. Jerk off on my forehead. Thank you. Right on. Yeah. Squirt, squirt, squirt. Thank you. Hand job for you. Hand job for you. Just one big yank. And lumber. There we go. And okay, boys. Bye, everybody. That's so fun. I wish I had some hats to throw. Hey, give me some hats. I throw them. I throw those hats. So here's okay, squirt, squirt. Bye. And everybody's bailing the fuck out of it. And let's see, they're going to be going.
Your financial future when it comes to retirement. And that's where our friends over the Birch Gold Group.
Oh, fuck off. They didn't even let him get to the fucking plane, and they cut to an ad. Look at the people bailing out of this shit. What like, some of them are like, oh my God, it's gonna announce. And then everybody else is like, oh, Jesus, more of this shit. By the way, hi, chat room. We made it. We got through the whole fucking thing. Oh, God, that was painful. Oh, what a waste of fucking time. Thank God it's over. And thank you guys for sticking with me. Bless you. I tried to make it as palatable as I could with voices and silliness, but man. How long was it? How many? 5 hours I've been on? I mean, I did 2 hours beforehand, so about 3 hours. Bless you. Finally, you could turn up the volume. That's lovely. Thanks. You couldn't listen to my voice? Oh, that's sweet. Anyways, I adore you guys. I love you. I'm going to let you guys go. I'll see you guys tomorrow for Election Day. Remember, vote. It's going to be great. Don't worry. Breathe deep. Like, again, half that fucking audience is people who've seen him before. It's fucking dumb. Like, it's not going to do anything for J.D. Vance's numbers. Like, don't sweat it.